had finally reached the Eye of the Allfather with 5 of these ancient runes in your possession to show them to Annam, the god of all giants, and prove to Annam that you guys are dedicated to trying and fixing the ordering. And Annam seemed to give you his blessing. He didn't just give you his blessing as well. He also gave you information about his children and how each giant is very different. They each have their own idealistic vision of what it means to be the best of their kind. So he gave you this information so you could try and use it against the giants if need be. So he told you that cloud giants, they are trying to uncover the relics of ancient Astoria, which is basically Faerun 30,000 years ago, and that they need powerful magic items, or they use powerful magic to either try and bargain for these relics or use them to try and locate other relics and whatnot. So cloud giants, they can be easily swayed with bribes, like rare magic items or whatnot. Fire giants, they are experts at forging and they're slavers, but what they hate above all is dragons. They really hate dragons. All giants do, but fire giants especially. Frost giants, well, they pride themselves on their ability to survive fishing and whatnot, and also above all they respect battle prowess. So to win the way to a frost giant's heart, you have to hit him in the neck with an axe or cut their legs off or something like that. And stone giants, now they are the most religious of the giants, as you guys saw when you went to Deadstone Cleft, and they generally fear giant gods, whether they're misguided or not. They do fear giant gods. As you guys saw in Deadstone Cleft, some of them they had like a sacred temple, and some of them believed that they were communing with Annam or another being, and they were being misguided by looks of it. And then other stone giants, they could see reason, especially when Annam's name was mentioned. Alright, armed with that knowledge and 3 new Griffin companions, you guys had traveled to Mirabar, where you'd spent another 5 days, or I think it was a 10-day, just preparing yourselves for what you would imagine is going to be the unknown and an important task ahead. We ended the session with you guys actually blowing on the conch, one of the 3 conches of teleportation that you have, and teleporting. So before we go any further, just want to make sure everyone is fully rested. You guys should be level 11 as well. And anyone have any questions, anything they're unsure of, anything they need to be refreshed on? You're traveling to the Storm Giant Hold to try and fix the ordning, and also refer to these questions. You've answered. You've had 5 of your questions answered. I guess the important ones is who was the traitor in King Hecaton's court? It says he was misled by his eldest daughters, Mirren and Nim, who covet his throne. Where is Blagothcus is not important. Who can we trust in King Hecaton's court? Speak to Sarissa, his youngest daughter. She has a clue to her father's whereabouts and she needs your help. And this is, basically the question that led you guys wanting to travel here in the first place, which is what must be done to fix the ordning. Find a magic conch of the Storm Giant King Hecaton and use it to visit his court and root out the evil therein.
So, when you say evil, that is slightly different than those that can't be trusted, correct? Like, misled, as far as Mirren and Nim. Actually, I'm talking kind of the guys. Does that sound different to you?
Well, they covered his throne. That seems like a pretty solid lead into evil. What they might do to.
Okay.
If they have eliminated the king or queen, that would be evil, yeah. Okay, so you guys teleport in, and immediately it only takes 2 seconds as you're surrounded by this magical energy. Your vision begins to fade and become blurry. You feel very light, and all of a sudden you hear this swirling magic all around you. And as your vision begins to return, you find yourself in, well, first of all, your ears pop. You find yourself in some sort of portal chamber, standing atop a glowing glyph that's been carved into the floor of a rough-hewn chamber. You look around yourselves, and this edifice that you're in, it has architecture like no other. Nothing you've ever seen before. You do feel like you're at like deep underground, with your ears popping and whatnot. Or you could be deep under the ocean. You definitely know that you're not like, you don't feel like you're up in the air, really high altitude though. But all this area, of course, is filled with air, and you can breathe just fine. The ceilings are massive. You can tell that you're in a giant's lair. The ceilings are 50 feet high, and there are some other hallways. They're 30 feet high. All the walls are kind of rough-hewn, but slick, and there is moisture coming out of the walls. All the walls are covered with water, and there are little sea creatures, small crustaceans clinging to the walls, snails and whatnot. And there is an enormous sconce here, set about 30 feet above the floor. It's letting off this soft blue light. It illuminates everything in the entire area. There doesn't seem to be any windows where you're standing. And there's also a pool of water just down here that you guys notice. So you've just come in now, and you're not sure of the depth of this pool, but it's quite large. There's a spiral staircase which has steps sized for giants that lead up over here, and there's not a single soul amongst you all. You look around, and I'm guessing Lily is not with you all at the moment. So blame Thomas for that.
Right.
There's a sound that you guys can hear as well when you've kind of adjusted to your in the environment. It sounds like a very powerful female voice singing an elegant song, and it's kind of drifting down from this hall, or from this stairwell.
Well, do you want to go investigate?
Let's do it. Might as well.
Is this a statue at the end of this hall, Seb?
Yeah. It's a statue of a storm giant, and it's very big. It's about 25 feet tall, and it's a standing statue. It's not on a plinth or anything like that, or on a block. And it's just, it looks like a guard, a stalwart guard with it looks like kind of scale mail that's made from some sort of sea creature's hide. He has in his hand what looks like a jagged bolt of lightning. Massive beard swept over to the side, and quite slender as well, very lanky and tall. and it's just kind of standing at attention.
Oh, we know what happened with the other giant guard statues. Rolled a boulder at us.
As you
This is
look,
one of the same.
perhaps. As you also look around, you can see what looks like some rooms. There are some large wooden doors here, and yeah, there's like coral coming out of the walls and other small ocean life just kind of existing here.
Well, if I had to guess, I would say that we are deep under the sea.
Good to know.
I rub my luxurious beard and say, I concur.
Well, do you want to head up the stairs?
Yeah, seems.
We're here to talk to someone, right? That's our goal. Yeah.
As you
Yes.
guys come towards the staircase, you can still hear that very powerful melody and these deep haunting tones of a masterfully played pipe organ. Then there's another loud noise. It's like a spray, and you see a narrow hall to the south that leads into a circular chamber, and a massive geyser of steam just shoots up from the pool, spraying up, loudly hissing as it erupts, and it just kind of sprays once like that, and kind of creates a bit of foam around the area, and you see little crustaceans crawling out of that pool. To the north, over here, you see another statue, and this one depicts a female storm giant. She's holding a harp in her hand, and she has a pink and blue conch shell also just kind of strapped to her side. And there are more doors up here, but these ones are giant sized. Where these ones, they actually look like they could accommodate creatures of your size.
Interesting.
Do we want to go look in one of those first?
Sure.
Right here. Might as well unleash the slaves.
Slaves?
I don't
They're
think.
not fire giants.
Yeah, I don't think this is a slave-keeping type of a giant.
I was just going
You
to say, I
that
don't think
now.
if they're slaves, they can really do anything. If
Yeah,
they
are there
drop in the water.
are there doors or are there bars?
There's doors.
Yeah.
Apparently
We'll
Ren
have to
didn't pay
avenge them later
attention
anyway.
in Giants school.
We'll have to avenge these people later anyway.
These doorways, they're quite elegant looking. But other than that, they're like just door size for you guys, albeit slightly bigger than usual. They're arched. They're about 12 feet tall, and they're double doors. They are just carved with like swirling images of waves, and the handles are made out of these nice conical shells.
I like to check for traps and or if they're locked.
You can make a perception check. Alright, it does not appear that there are locks built into these doors, and there's certainly no traps. You can actually see a bit of a build-up of this bioluminescent lichen, suggesting that the door hasn't been open for quite some time. A couple of snails are growing on the door as well. A couple of tiny harmless crabs crawl around your feet too.
Can I hear anything beyond the doors?
No, you're still hearing that very powerful female voice wisping down the spiral
It's not like
staircase.
water's seeping out underneath or anything, is it?
No.
See, now I'm worried I'm going to open it. Ocean's going to flood in on me.
Just do it.
All right, I'll open it.
Alright, it's a very delicate door handle, and you pull the door open, and inside you see a room containing furnishings for your sized folk. There seems to be 5 comfortable looking beds, a circular rug, a large barrel in the corner, and a wardrobe and dresser, as well as another one of these sconces illuminating the room with like a seemingly magical flame.
They have
Does it
place
look
for
like-
guests.
Yeah, does it look like it's a guest room for... That's... What am I trying to say here? Is it being used?
Occupied? No, the beds
Yeah,
are
sorry.
all made. You open one of the
Long rest guides.
you open one of the wardrobes to see if there's any clothes in there, and it's empty.
Okay. Mini bar's full.
Not for long.
Oh shit, get Roderick out of here.
Oh, I still got 3 days of my drinking thing.
I'll go ahead and check this one. Okay.
Still been keeping track of that.
Every
Alright.
long rest, I just tick one off.
Same thing. It's another guest quarters.
Okay.
Does not appear
Alright.
occupied. It's actually a mirror image of the other room.
So we teleport to the place that has guest rooms. They expect people.
Not.
Considering how many of those shells they got all lying all over the place, I guess so.
If those are guest rooms for our size people, we can assume that these up here are guest rooms for giant size people.
That makes sense.
Well, I just had a thought. I don't know what you guys think, but maybe we should go see who is making this powerful voice. Get some sense of what's going on in the court before we walk right into it.
Like how?
Who would have
Go
guessed
pop.
she was a base?
So, Jarek, you said you wanted to listen to the melody and try and copy it. Make
Yeah,
a,
just kind of get an idea of it.
All right. You'd have to listen to it for a while to try. And...
I've been doing it since. Yeah, I've been doing it since they've been poking around the doors. So.
Yeah, you to hear the entire rendition. You'd have to listen to it all and then make an intelligence check. It's the instruments that you're hearing that are playing. They must be very large instruments. You imagine their size for giants, and you can make an intelligence check to see how well Jarek can recall that melody.
I have my own version. I think that's going to be better. I'm just going to wait for that television debut.
Yeah,
So slower.
you're having a little bit of trouble trying to catch every note. There's a lot going on. It seems like there are multiple. There's singing, and then there's an instrument, and it's very complex. So, you guys want to head up the stairs now?
Sure.
Alright, let me move you guys up there. Those of you that are not flying, you will need to literally like climb up the steps. Every step is like 3 or 4 feet tall. So you're climbing up slowly. It's all difficult terrain. You don't need any ability check to get up there though. It's not that hard. That very powerful voice becomes quite loud and apparent as you guys make your way to the top of the stairs. And
I think I lost my griffin.
Did you? Oh, is that your griffin?
I don't have control over it. I don't have control.
Oh, let me fix that up. I thought that was Lily's for some reason.
Join the
It's already
long line
dead.
of horses.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, there we go. All right, you can hear that very, very powerful and loud song as you guys arrive here. And as you look into this chamber, you see a large number of giants. It's a very large hall, and it's split into 2 levels. There's a 15-foot high raised ledge hugging the north and east walls with some gently sloping ramps leading up to it. And the acoustics here are excellent because the chamber is so loud. All of this song just washes over everyone. And you see these barnacle-covered pillars of rough-hewn rock rising to meet the vaulted ceiling. And there's this huge crystal window it's allowing some bright light in, and it's casting all these colorful, beautiful patterns all over the walls. Under the window, there is a large crab with colored nodules and hollow flutes of beautiful coral growing out of its shell. And it's a living instrument. You see 2 female storm giants playing the melody on this crab. One of them's tapping on it, and the crab's exhaling a burst of air through one of its coral pipes, producing this very deep tone similar to that of a pipe organ. And you see the performers. They definitely look like royalty. One of them's singing and one of them's playing this organ. And this is what they look like. As you guys enter, you see a number of giants sitting around these large conical shells, kind of like using them like couches or tables for some of the smaller giants. And there are hill giants, frost giants, stone giant, cloud giants, and fire giants. There's also storm giants here that look like guards. And that beautiful melody, it kind of stops as you guys arrive, as your presence has been noted. And immediately, the storm giant guard standing near these 2 royal female storm giants, he sets his eyes on you all, and he points. "Small folk," he says in a mighty, deep voice. And he creates a bolt of lightning in his hand that he holds, but he brandishes it, but he doesn't look like he's going to throw it at you guys. But another storm giant kind of stomps on over, and he has this enormous greatsword in his hand, and he rushes to meet you guys quite quickly at the top of the staircase.
I approach him, hold out my loot, and say, "Can I join in?"
At this stage, it doesn't look like he understands you unless you're speaking giant.
Nope.
At this stage, you've got the attention of the entire court. And the storm giant actually does respond to you in common. Although many of the other giants don't really seem to get you, this storm giant, he can't help but smirk a little bit. "Ha! More folk in Maelstrom. What is the meaning of this?"
Well, we come at the behest of the Allfather, and
Ha!
we seek audience with Sarissa.
You are intruding. You have not been invited. Mirren! Nim! What do you want me to do with these intruders? Shall I smite them or capture them? And these 2 sisters, Mirren and Nim, they both look at you guys. Nim stays next to the hulking crab, but Mirren, she gives you a condescending look, and she steps forward, stopping her melody, her singing, and she says, "Stand down! Let us see what these puny creatures have to say." It sounds like not much. They come here making demands. Come before me. little creatures, and I shall judge you. All the giants are looking at you at this stage.
I'll start flying in on the griffin. I'll fly back over the middle of the pool.
Alright, as you fly in, you see what looks like giant leaders. There's like a king fire giant, a cloud giant, royal, a Jarl, frost giant Jarl, a stone giant, maybe a Thane, and perhaps a hill giant chief.
No chin.
Queefer in chief.
I'll hold up one of the extra conches that we have. We have been judged by the Allfather already, and I'll say this in giant. Otherwise, we would not have been able to come here at all.
Your tiny voice is too quiet. I said come before me.
Alright. I'll like fly right in front of her.
You notice storm giants move to block the exits, and the storm giant that's next to them, he actually gently levitates down this 15-foot high ledge and interposes himself. If you try to go there, Mirren looks at you. Back down where you belong! And she points down here. How dare you approach me in such a manner?
Fine. Shit. Don't have to be such a bitch about it.
What did you say?
I thought my voice was too small, Your Majesty.
Her sister chuckles. How dare you speak to me in such a manner? I could have you executed immediately, I'll have you know.
Mumble, same goes to you.
I'm sure you can.
Look around you. Do you think you are evenly matched here, small folk, coming here making demands? On my order, I can have each and every giant in this room crush you. Or is that what you want? Have you come here for conflict?
I did not hear any of us make a demand.
You said you wished to seek audience with my sister.
It was a request. A wish.
A request?
We would not have done such.
And some of the giants start speaking. They start calling out. You hear this very angry fire giant who's wearing a king's crown. He looks over at you all and he yells in giant, "What is the meaning of this intrusion, princesses? We care not what the small folk have to say. They mean nothing in our matters." Watch your tongue, King Snur. I'll have you know you are in King Hecaton's court. You should know better than to try and start a fight. Or I'll have you executed as well, or removed from your position. The storm giants are still at the top of the ordering. Don't you forget that. And Nim chuckles again. Oh, you're really having them on, sister? I am in charge of this court. And you will do as I say. Now, small folk. You say the reason for this intrusion is to meet with my sister?
Or to meet with King Hecaton, if he is here.
Well, I'm afraid that our younger sister is too far overwhelmed with important matters at this moment. And this storm giant count, he looks over at Mirren, crosses his arms just like in that token. But if she is too busy at the moment, perhaps we can listen to what the small folk has to say. The ordering has been shattered. And no matter what you say, Mirren, there is no ordering. There is no hierarchy. We all have an even voice in this court. Even the fat one over there. And you just see this, like, female frost hill giant. She's just, like, stuffing her face with all these hunches of meat. She just kind of looks up a little bit. Food covering her face.
Ugh.
You're being insolent, Count Val. Small folk, allow me a moment to convene with my sister in privacy. Get back over near the stairwell now.
It's not like we can stop you.
We didn't back off.
Do not move again until you are summoned or spoken to.
It's a little rude considering we're all equals here.
Past the stone giant, I say in common, the Allfather sent us. Keep walking.
He doesn't look like he understands you.
Damn.
And this storm giant just like he tries to grab your griffin, Norin, if you don't move.
I'm lagging quite a bit.
Okay.
I was moving my token. It just wasn't going.
Just grabs the griffin and like throws it across the room. You're still attached to it.
Alright, Mirren and Nim, they start having a whispered conversation between another. And you wait here in an relatively awkward silence for about 5 minutes.
Do we know that Hackaton is missing?
While they're talking, I'll talk to this storm giant guard here, if he'll allow it.
Well, and just to clarify, because that question brings into, we know that he's not here because the ordning's been undone, so he's either missing or he's dead. That's already been communicated.
Or in prison.
Yeah, you know that
I
he's
don't-
missing 100% because you'd met a storm giant searching for him. And also, yeah, logically you'd think that he's missing. That's the reason for the ordning being shattered.
Right.
So we should.
But we
offer our
don't
help.
we don't
These
think
two
he's
just
dead,
sit
right?
behind it.
We don't. Anyways, okay.
So we should just offer our help to locate him.
Yeah, but these sisters might be behind it. That's why we're going for the
but they've got this whole giant court in here, so they can't exactly say no. We can't look for him.
Yep.
Watch your tongue, small folk. You are sending about very brave sounding ideas.
Who said that?
The storm giant standing right next to you guys.
This is probably the guy right next to us. Yeah.
Very grave ideas.
I was gonna.
Well, the Allfather's displeased that the ordning's been shattered. That's why we're here.
Want to help?
The ordning is shattered because the queen is dead and the king is thought to be dead as well. We are in the process of electing a new leader. Then all will be fixed. This does not concern you, small folk. You have made a mistake by coming to this court, getting involved in matters that do not concern you.
Well, they
It
do
does
concern us
us.
because
Yeah.
there's giants active,
Alright. Mhm.
trying to prove their place. in
We're
the
here
world.
to help, not to.
As I said, we are in the process of electing a new leader, and all will be
Adam,
fixed.
there.
Ha!
Well, the Allfather was concerned enough to send us.
You speak as if you know of our history, small folk, but you cannot possibly understand something that reaches far beyond your minds. Now, I would ask you to hush. Your words spoken in this court are not appreciated. And, Mirren calls out, "Guards! I have decided that I will allow them an audience with my sister. After all the other giants have finished their audience. Every giant around you is looking to speak to our little sister. So, take them to the rooms, and they will be called upon when my sister is ready to speak to them. You are dismissed." "You heard her. To the rooms."
Right.
I'll begin flying down the stairs.
Alright, the giants escort you guys down there.
No point in
Slowly
arguing.
climb.
They patiently wait while you guys make your way down there. As you guys are heading down there, you see Mirren and Nim actually they start to walk off down that ramp to the south as well, where you can see what looks like perhaps the entrance to a mighty King's Hall in the level above. The storm giants just point. "There you are, your rooms, small folk. You are to remain here and not leave the rooms until you are called upon. We will be guarding your doors to make sure you do not wander."
Can I ask you your names? I would like to know the names of the people guarding our doors.
"Ha! That's no concern of yours, small folk."
Alright,
name.
giant.
And he just stares at you with these deep violet, almost purplish eyes. And he does seem very benevolent. And short-tempered, however. Because you can see him just clenching his fist.
We have been to the Eye of the Allfather.
Say, your eyes must have seen much.
You will have your audience with the princess, small folk. Whatever you have to say does not concern us in this current time. We care not for your words. Now please, get in the rooms. We will call upon you when it is your time. And they close the doors behind you guys. And now you guys are just waiting. And waiting.
Do we have the telepathic link still?
It would be a Lily thing to cast it.
Yeah, and I think it lasts for an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. You do hear the giants actually, at least one of them stomps off a little while into waiting here. And you guys are just waiting and waiting, and let me know what you guys want to do or how you feel about the situation.
Well, we should get our story straight as to why we're here and what our intentions are, I think. Just to help.
Norn.
Norn is...
In the other room.
He needs privacy right now.
Did you want to be in the other room, Norn?
Well, I mean, I figured that there weren't enough beds, but I'll go to the other. I'll be in the room with them.
Yeah.
So
You can...
well, everything's closed off now. So if you want to,
You can share a bed. You're not sleeping anyway.
flip me over there.
You're just waiting.
So I guess we're here to help in the search.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing. We don't have to be deceptive, do we? Because that's literally why we're here, is to find Hecaton.
Yeah.
Or did I forget something?
No, the Allfather
Just
sent
the
us.
two sisters are suspicious. Those two
Well, I don't
sisters-
think we're supposed to reveal that, though, right?
Well, we're not going to tell them that. Because then
Yeah,
they'll
we
know,
may-
but then we have to be deceptive about
I mean-
that, right?
I mean, the issue is that the two people that are the most suspicious out of all of them are basically in charge right now. Like whatever they're saying is being done. So that in itself is not good. I doubt we're gonna actually get to meet with their sister. So I mean, we'll see what happens, but
Yeah. Well, maybe we just placate them until we can locate the sister. You know, tell them how pretty they are, blah blah blah, and then
which Sarissa has a clue to where Hecaton is. So I think once we meet with the sister, we offer our help to her, but just to her.
I think we should go before them, state our claims, and perhaps in private, I can send a message after we've met the little sister. I can send her a message to seek a private audience with her.
Yeah, because it would probably...
Instead of
they're,
in
like,
front of the other
restricting
sister.
access- Yeah, if they're
Yeah.
restricting access, they'll probably want to watch over whatever we're saying as well.
I mean, the other two, we already know they're not trustworthy. We can promise them whatever we want to.
Yeah.
But
No, I
yeah,
yeah, but we can also try to gain audience with,
yeah. I'm just assuming it'd be easier to gain audience with the third sister if the others aren't suspicious of us or they trust us a little bit.
but at some point we need to talk to her alone, not in front of her sister.
Alone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Because,
they're
like,
ever
here
gonna
we
try
are
to-
now, we're just, like, waiting until they summon us. Which will
Well,
probably
at some
be a lot.
point we want to start pushing, I think, the different giants, but you know,
Yeah.
letting
Okay.
the stone giants know we're sent by the gods, that fire giants that the dragons are taking over because they're fucking around.
But
Anything else we can think of?
But wouldn't it
Just
be
speak
wiser to talk to Sarissa, because she may have insight on which then she might already have like a ring of trusted giants that
I
she's
mean, we can
working with,
still-
maybe.
Yeah.
we can do both.
I think the idea of messing with the other giants is just to make it so that the two sisters in charge kind of aren't in charge anymore, right?
Ah, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that cloud giant did state that
Yeah.
he felt they all
Yeah.
had an equal say, but he got shot down pretty quick.
Yeah.
So if we
Yeah,
can get
so-
them all to be on board with that, maybe.
Well, and the storm giants being anything at the top, they probably won't be happy about.
Not true.
Alright, you guys are waiting here for like about 8 hours.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's taken a very long time.
So
There
was
were a lot of giants, so you would imagine they're all having their audience with Sarissa while you guys are waiting.
I was lowest on the totem pole.
Anyone want to do anything else before we move on?
Are there any animals in here?
There's small sea creatures.
Oh yeah. Because I was just looking at things to do while I wait, and got to speak with animals as a ritual. So
He's just talking with like the snails and stuff on the walls.
yeah, good. I don't think they'll be able to say anything.
I would just be taking care of my griffin,
Okay.
getting him fed and all that good stuff.
Alright, guys, wait for just a little bit longer. And finally, you hear Mirren's voice call out. Small folk! Small folk! You are permitted to exit now. Your audience has been granted. Come out.
Can't.
Need help with the door.
We can't.
Just move the dynamic lighting. Hurry up.
Oh, yeah.
So who is that that's telling us that?
Shit like this was
It's
about-
Mirren, the one that was speaking
Okay.
earlier. You hear it, you recognize her voice.
The ones that we don't trust, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, then we shall have an escort to go see your sister then. I see.
As you exit, you see Mirren, Nim, a storm giant guard, and one of each of the other giants that were present in the meeting. And Mirren points at you all and says, there they are. There are the assassins that have come to Maelstrom to try and kill my sister. The same ones that killed my mother. Lord's Alliance. Seize them and kill them. Under my command. Let's roll initiative.
Huh.
This
Well,
bitch.
shit.
Huh.
Alright.
Alright, yeah, you
Damn,
guys
Wow. Jeez.
see there are quite a number
There's
of
a very
giants
nimble hill
here.
giant there.
Yeah, quite a large number. So, let's see how this goes.
Well, so far no good.
I mean, poorly for Norin.
I'm going to presume
Really
everyone
for all of us.
is
all
controlling their
before us.
griffins.
Yeah, I've got control of mine.
Alright, so they'll be on your initiative counts. And all of the giants obey Mirren's commands. And this frost giant just runs up with his great axe. He runs straight into the fray. And he swings at you, Norin.
Okay. I'm
And-
going to use my warding maneuver to parry that off.
Okay, you block his great axe, and it's not too late for diplomacy. Just keep that in mind. And alright, you block that attack, and the frost giant respects that. You fight well. Let's do this again. And he attacks you again.
Yeah, he's gonna crit this time. God.
He hits you
Damn it.
for 27 slashing damage.
Man, high AC is worth nothing
Not against giants.
when you're fighting giants.
Just gotta
We're
get it
not,
higher.
we're not assassins. We're here to help.
You can use your action on your turn if you wish to try and...
Alright.
Oh, what's happening with Roderick? You can't hide in the wall, Roderick, to try and not get attacked. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, I can do that. I've got meld into stone.
But it's a
Well,
stone
okay,
wall.
you can
Yeah,
do that. Alright, the giants all have rocks as well. They definitely look like this is being planned, a planned assassination. And the fire giant takes his rock, and he just hurls it across the room. And he's going to hurl it at your griffin, Roderick.
Oh, the bastard.
You've got half cover from this. What the griffin does. Whoa! It collects your griffin for 41 bludgeoning damage.
What's half cover? Is it 2 AC?
Yeah, +2.
Yeah, and we had like 16 AC with the armored, wasn't it? Fighting.
Oh, yes. Let me increase the AC. I forgot about that barding.
We got the
Alright, the female hill giant, she just finished chewing on a big chunk of meat. She throws the bone at who's the tastiest looking? It's definitely Rend. She's gonna throw the bone at you, Ren. Ah! And she just like hits this statue. Nim just chuckles. Farewell, assassins! Good one, Mirren. And she holds up her hand, almost like a clawed sconce, and a bolt of lightning seemingly comes down from the ceiling and is crackling in her hand. And she just handles it easily. And she throws it straight onto this point. Into this square. And lightning just explodes out in every direction. So both Griffins, Roderick, Than, Ren, Jarek, and Thomas all need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that was an absorb element. But...
Yeah, you'd be wanting to absorb if you can.
Yeah.
And then they're both Griffins. Alright, it explodes hard. Just
Wow.
zapping everyone. Alright, who's doing the absorb? Roderick? Who's doing the absorb? Thomas? Roderick and Thomas? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, let me get those on for you guys. And then we'll do all the damage. And you'll need to do Griffins as well, please, Than and Roderick. Dexterity.
Sheet for that, but it should be the same for.
If you hold Alt and double click on the Griffin, and it'll bring up the character sheet for you. It's in there somewhere too. I think in the companions folder.
Oh yeah, I see that. There we go.
Okay.
My Griffin's dead.
So
They have evasion, don't they?
all right.
Right.
Than.
That's what we had the training for, right?
Do you have evasion, Than?
No,
Okay.
I already took the damage.
You're hit for 65 points of lightning damage. Rend, you're hit for 65 points of lightning damage. Jarek, you're hit for 65 points of lightning damage. Roderick, you're hit for 32 points of lightning damage. And Thomas, you're hit for 16 points of lightning damage. Your Griffin is instantly destroyed then, so you can, if you wish, you can use your reaction to not fall prone, otherwise you're going to fall prone.
Okay, I will use my reaction.
Alright, you quickly jump off the Griffin as it falls to the ground dead, landing on your feet. And your Griffin succeeds, taking its dead too. Damage.
Taking its dead.
Alright, you're going to fall on the ground prone, Roderick. As you're absorbing the elements. And what are you using, Jarek? Absorb elements? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, you absorb elements too. So you take 32. Alright, Roderick. You can use half your movement to stand up, and you're faced with several angry giants. You've been accused of being sent here to assassinate the queen on behalf of the princess on behalf of the Lord's Alliance.
Yeah. I do want to convince them that we're not here to assassinate. Not sure the best thing to say though. Like, how?
You can use your action to try and reach out to a particular giant, if you wish.
Yep. I'll talk to the stone giant.
You can,
actually.
yeah, you can tell that they're kind of just, following orders. There's no way they're going to disobey these princesses in their home. All right, you size up this stone giant. What do you say to him?
Do we? Oh, probably haven't got their names, do we? But it's like we've been sent by Annam to seek a way to restore the ordning. Surely you would be willing to help on the I don't know, like righteous path or something.
Okay.
That's the way to phrase it.
All right. Because you mentioned Anim to that stone giant who revere the gods, you can make a persuasion check with advantage to try and sway the giant.
Nice. Nailed it.
He shakes his head. You are lying. You have been sent by the small folk organizations to kill the princess. And your words fall on deaf ears.
Right. Should I try with someone else?
That
Good action
you
surge.
you could action surge and try to speak really quickly. I guess that's how that works.
Wait a second, but.
Yeah, if you've failed on that giant as well, then you're not going to be able to try and sway them again. So yeah, it will have to be a different one.
Yeah.
Don't do the heal giant.
We have snacks. Join the small side. We have cookies. No. I can try the frost giant. And be like, you've seen Norrin. Was it Norrin? Yeah, Norrin the Griffin. See his prowess. Do you think if we were really here to assassinate, wouldn't have already acted?
You can make a persuasion check. Ha ha ha! You! He points at you, Roderick.
Mm-hmm.
You speak from behind your ally who is brave to fight in melee. You have balls. Big, giant balls. And I respect that. And he puts down his axe. Mirren! Nim! I will not fight for you. The small folk, they have fought tooth and nail to reach this sanctum. Even outnumbered, they still rush into melee. I want to see what they have to say. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Damn right.
And you've swayed the frost giant. He puts down his axe and he looks like he's going to start
Cool.
leaving. And Mirren just screams at him, I'll remember this, Thane Helenhide. You'll be removed from your position. Insolence will not be tolerated. Oh, Mirren, Nim says. Oh, you've been bested. The other giants, however, they're not so easily persuaded.
Step up with the rest of my movement and shillelagh. And wait for the next one.
Rend.
Rand. Fuck this. They hit me with a fucking lightning bolt. I'm a rage. And I'm going after the heal giant. I'll leave my future people alone with the frost giant. And
I like that you're still on that.
they respect might. So, and I'm great weapon master and reckless attack her.
He also has a great beard, the Thane says. Alright, you run up and that's the hit. You just slam the axe straight into the female hill giant. And you don't quite chop her leg off. But blood starts to roll down her leg.
Yeah, you shouldn't have attacked us. I'll do it again. Come on.
Hit. and let's see what happens. You definitely have her bloodied at this stage. You sink the axe into her leg again. Ah! She screams out in agony. And she's reasonably injured. Thomas.
Alright. Call out to the fire giant. Say, you, fire giant. I can't believe you're fighting for these women. The ordning under them has been smashed and dragons are running rampant. They're collecting all the slaves. You'll be left with...
Alright, you can make a persuasion check, Thomas. It doesn't quite hit home with him. Ha! Ha! I appreciate! I presume you're speaking in giant too, right?
Oh, no. I don't even speak giant.
Okay, well, he doesn't understand what you're saying and your words fall on deaf ears.
Alright. I'll come down here.
In the room.
Than.
Is it possible to put Spare the Dying on my Griffin, or is it beyond help?
Yeah, the Griffin wasn't killed outright, so yeah, it can make death saving throws if you want it to.
Can I bonus action Spare the Dying on it?
Sure. It'll be in
And
this.
just stabilize it.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to kill it outright, so it'll be in this space here. Was it there or there? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah. I can't remember, but that's. I would have been on his back, so yeah.
I think it was there.
Yep, that makes sense. And I'm gonna, as my action, put Icy Mantle on myself.
Okay.
And let's see here. I'm gonna probably move.
Did you want to try and save your Griffin as well, Roderick?
I can.
Sure. All right, I'll add both of them to the turn
word
order.
Oh, can I just switch my Shillelagh for a healing word?
Too late now. We've done like
Sure.
turns already.
Yeah.
I can stabilize yours next turn if you want.
Yeah.
I'll roll them into initiative.
And so with the griffins on the ground, is that how does that work for movement?
Their space is difficult terrain, and you can't end your turn in their space.
Okay. Well,
Roderick's just down here though.
I'm gonna just move up behind Norn, and see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll make you blue for your icy mantle. The storm giant calls out to you guys, how dare you come to our court and try to assassinate our princess? Usurpers! Assassins! Liars! Long have we tolerated you small folk, but you have crossed the line! And, he's gonna throw... he's gonna summon a lightning bolt into his hand and do his lightning strike here. To hit Norin, the Griffin, Than, and it's going to hit the other Griffin too. So they'll both fail a death saving throw. Well, yours will be dying, sorry, Than, and then this one will fail a death saving throw. Alright, Griffin, Norin. And that icy mantle means you take 0 damage, right, Than? Any damage you take is negated to 0?
Only from bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
Alright, it's gonna hurt.
My Griffin gets evasion because of mounted combatant.
Okay. Yeah, the storm giants can speak common. And dex save for you, Than.
Watch, this might take me out.
Alright, Norin, you're hit for 49 lightning damage. Your Griffin's hit for 24 lightning damage. And
I have the Ring of Lightning.
Alright, you take 12. and Than, you manage to make the saving throw, kind of dive out of the way, and you take 24 lightning damage. And the massive lightning strike just with absolute precision as well. These giants throw it. Jarek.
Well, it looks like it's a fight, especially after that conversation. So I'm going to spend 3 sorcery points. Going to twin a spell. And I'm going to target the fire giant and whatever this giant is behind the stone giant.
Okay. Alright, they make intelligence saving throws.
Intelligence, correct.
Okay, this is the fire giant. 18.
Damn.
This is the cloud giant. Right, cloud giant fails, so they regard all creatures they can see as enemies, and if they take damage, they'll repeat the saving throw, and if they choose another creature as a target, it has to choose them at random from all the creatures it can see within range of the attack. So that'll be randomly determined.
All right, and then I am going to use my movement to go down into this other room down here. Well, that door's open, right? Or no?
You can open it.
I'll open it. It's my free action. I've moved 10, 15, 20, and let me check one other thing real quick, just to make sure I got this right. So, okay, so that does not take a bonus action to do that, correct? To do a twin spell, it's just something that you do.
Twinned, yeah, you use the sorcery points, and it just lets you affect multiple people rather than two targets instead of one.
Right. Then I will use a bonus action to turn a second level spell into sorcery points.
Okay.
That will give me 4 sorcery points, and I am done with my turn.
All right. 2, 3. I need Rend, Roderick, Norin, and Than, and the Griffin to all roll a D100.
A D100.
Okay, this is for Norin, and this one is for the Griffin.
Yeah, and that will include the unconscious Griffins too, because he's gonna throw a rock, and he can pretty much see just about everyone. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 giants to choose from, and obviously whoever is getting the lowest is getting attacked. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, somebody rolled a 9.
The Count starts to have this internal struggle as he brings out a rock. Assassins everywhere! And he basically attempts to break this rock over the stone giant's head at disadvantage because he's next to a creature. And he just smacks the giant over the head with a rock. It breaks over the stone giant. And he just says like, he made me do it! He has used the magic on my head! And he doesn't get a saving throw at the end of his turn, only if he takes damage. Alright, he then stumbles forward. And he ends his turn there. And pushing closer. Right, the stone giant seems quite unhappy. And he just yells out in giant, "Come back here! Small folk, you speak of the gods, but you defy the princesses. And he's going to throw a rock at Ren. The rock misses you, Ren. Just poof, smashes on the wall next to you and breaks into pieces. Mirren points. They are trying to trick us and turn us against ourselves, but we are giants and they are small folk. We need to be united. Now is not the time for falling victim to their pitiful little tricks. Extinguish their flames. Reclaim Astoria. Stop the assassins. And she too will throw a lightning strike. And she's going to throw it here. Trying to like get Jarek around the corner. And it doesn't hit you. She just hurls it there. And it misses you by about a half a foot. That one! They're trying to hide in the rooms! Chase them down! She yells out. She does give these commands in Giants as well. Okay, it's a death save for the Griffin. I'll let you do the honors, Roderick, because it's your Griffin.
Yep. Do they have a... I don't see a death save on.
You can roll a D. Yeah, I don't think they don't have one. We can just roll a D20 in
It's
there.
got a +3 on that, but yeah, 12.
Alright, it's a success for the Griffin. It's squawking a little bit. Norin.
I am going to hold up. I'm going to hold up the one of our spare conches. I mean, we have a million of them. And I'm going to speak in Giant. I'm going to speak to
Durand.
I'm gonna speak to this storm giant back here. Actually, as you can see, we have blown the conch to get here, and the only way to do that is by the will of the Allfather. We are here on the mission to find King Hecaton and to restore the ordering. It has been broken for too long, and has thrown the world into chaos. And we cannot have that.
Alright, Norin, you can make a persuasion check. There's Mirren and Nim breathing down this giant's neck. He's going to be hard to persuade.
Well, the best I can get is a 19, so probably not gonna work. Oh no.
You are not. What did you say about my mother?
I speak perfectly good Giant. Come on. Fuck, man.
But yeah, you feel like it would be very difficult to try and persuade the storm giants with the princesses breathing down its neck. Especially when you're hurling insults at their mother.
Norin, get the fuck out of the hole. Sitting ducks out there.
Well, we're just gonna be sitting ducks in as soon as we get inside the rooms, there's nothing we can do in there either, so...
But we can fight them at the door instead of getting picked off by ranged attacks by everybody. And limit the attacks to a couple of rounds. Just saying.
Yeah, the situation just kind of pisses me off a little bit, but oh well. That's what evil people do. Makes sense. The Griffin is going to take the disengage. So, well, I don't think the Frost Giant is.
He's already lowered his axe.
Yeah, he's not. He's not trying to hit anyway. So I'll fly in here. No reason not to. What's the Griffin's fly speed? A lot,
80.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
very
I'll fly
mobile.
there. Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, the Thane just says, to me, the small folk have proven their battle prowess, and I need not see anything more. Get the fuck out of my way. He pushes the hill giant in the face and bumps the Count's shoulder, and they look and just kind of yell, Gah! You coward! And the Count is actually under the effects of that spell, so he just says, You are in league with the assassins! And so if an enemy provokes an opportunity attack, then he has to make the attack if he's able to. So I'm guessing this Cloud Giant's going to be attacking him with a Morning Star. Gah, assassin! And just hits the Frost Giant with the Morning Star.
The Cloud Giant's the best player on our team.
Too long
Great.
have I listened to you, Cloud Giants. It is time for a new ordering. And Helen Hyde is going to attack the Cloud Giant back instead with its action. He hits the Cloud Giant, and the Cloud Giant will make a intelligence saving throw.
Oh,
Stop! They did magic on me, a spell! No quarrel with you! Go! Touch me again, and I'll put your face through your ass. Okay, alright!
I'm gonna come out of the room to see that. That's for sure.
Alright, the Fire Giant, he just roars, Roar! Let me into melee! Let me crush them! Come back here, small folk, you cowards! And he's gonna just throw a rock at Rend. And it's a miss. Oh no, you're reckless, right? You're hit for 9 bludgeoning damage. Pfft, as the rock breaks over you. Alright, meanwhile, this hill giant, she just has like a crude looking club in her hand. She just tries to whack you with it, Ren. Yeah! And she hits you for 8 bludgeoning damage. She raises it above her head again, and she tries to hit you. And she smacks you for another 8 bludgeoning damage. Bam! Bam! She says. Meanwhile, Nim chuckles. Oh, sister, this is too easy. We are picking them off like flies. Soon, sister. And she holds up her hand. But she only gets a few little sparkles of lightning appear in her hand this time. By the gods! Grant me my lightning, she says.
See, Adam turned against you.
Oh well, I guess this will do. And she reaches into her bag and just pulls out this like jagged shell. And she tosses it straight over all the giants' heads, trying to do a high arcing angle to hit Roderick at disadvantage.
These were 30-foot high ceilings, am I correct?
Yep, the ceilings in the hall are 30 feet, and the larger rooms are 50. So these rooms that you're in, They will be 30. These ones that you're in here and here.
Nice.
Only the larger rooms will be 50. All right. She's a pretty good shot because she hits you for 38 bludgeoning damage, Roderick. I have one, sis. She chuckles. She seems a lot more childish than Mirren. Those of you can understand giant. All right, Roderick.
All right. I don't know. What would the fire giants? Because we like spent time with their, in their realm. They value like skill with crafting and stuff.
They Adam said that they hate dragons above all other, but just the fact that dragons, like being told that dragons are roaming Faerun, that kind of actually excites the fire giant because then they've got more reason to kill dragons. So that didn't work.
Okay. But if I told them that we ran into that big blue one, like that was trying to mess up the ordning, would that?
You'll have to try. Depends on what you say.
Yeah. Yeah.
+1 bow. Still got pieces of
I can
Zindra
do
stuck to it. That's the cloud giants that need to be bribed.
Okay.
Alright, so you're going to try some more diplomacy?
Yeah, I will try on the fire giant to say the dragons are also conspiring against the ordning we run into. What's the face of the desert?
Imrith.
Imrith of the desert. Yeah. You know the big one? The blue and stuff and that horn?
A horny dragon? Alright, alright, you suggest that perhaps dragons are behind the shadowing of the ordning, or at least have complicated themselves some way. So make a persuasion check with advantage, Roderick.
Alright.
Alright, the fire giant's looking at you, and he says, Dragons. That would make sense. If anyone is responsible, I would blame those disgusting, stupid winged lizards. I'm listening. And he has not put down his weapon, but he's listening. It's not enough to get him over the line, though.
But he doesn't look like he's immediately going to strike us.
No, he's kind of lowered his sword a little bit.
Yep. I'll step up to there and I will cast a healing word on my griffin. You can find it.
Alright, the griffin is awake.
And I'll tell it to get to safety, or whatever if I can. Can sit this one out. Leave this to the experts.
He can give it do a hand gesture to direct it to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Alright, meanwhile, this griffin is it's losing blood rapidly. 33% of its blood is disappearing every round. Alright, Rend.
Alright. I'm going to use diplomacy on the heal giant in the form of a reckless great weapon attack.
Alright,
I love it.
Carve off some meat for it.
hit. Alright, you hack the axe into its leg again. and the giant is seriously injured. Gah! You make bad owie on my leg! He yells out in giant.
And we'll do that again. See, I'm trying to convince you to stop fighting.
And that's another hit. You just like jump off and embed the great axe into her neck. Ah! And she collapses onto the ground dead. And the fire giant points. Did you see that? And the cloud giant kind of smirks a little bit. Stupid hill giant.
And
Oh well, no loss, Mirren says. That's served its purpose.
I'll step. I won't actually use my third attack though.
Thomas.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'll squeeze. 25, 30. I won't end my turn there. So it was just the cloud and storm giants that could.
You've heard the cloud giant speak in common, and you've heard the storm giant speak in common. They are like the smartest of the giants. The other ones, well, they stick to their own. They don't bother to learn the common language.
Alright. Cloud giant, I can't believe you're fighting for these treacherous women. What have they done for you? Well, got a nice rare magic item from Astoria to give you. If you abandon this and help us support the all.
He looks down his nose at you. And you can make a persuasion check with advantage, Thomas. You've got his attention.
Nice.
Oh, is that so? Alright. Come and give it to me then. Immediately.
Fuck.
Right, my griffin.
I'll expect a payment in short order.
Start digging around in the bag of holding. Oh no, that's
What have you got from Astoria?
I'll hold out the rune, the giant rune.
Which one is it?
It's the
You have the fire one, right?
the opal of Ild.
Oh, a fire rune! I could really have it over Prince Tartha here with that. I believe him. If they're willing to sacrifice a rune like that, well, they're going to lengths.
Alright, that's bonus action movement.
This will not go unheard of, Count Val. You will be punished for this treachery, this treason. Mirren scolds her. Ah, shut up, he says. How dare you! You'll all be exalted! Alright, then.
So we'd be better off if the ordning worked.
I'm gonna try to I guess spare the dying on my griffin again. And
Okay, stable.
I guess I will cast bless. Shit. I gotta do the distance here. So I'm just gonna cast. I'm gonna try to banish this guy. I'm gonna cast banishment on him.
Okay.
Where is it? This guy.
And whew.
Jeez. All right, and I'm gonna sneak into this room.
And banish yourself as well.
Try to hide.
I cannot allow you small folk to continue to infiltrate King Hecadon's court. In the name of the princesses, I sentence you to death. Do not resist, small folk. You're only prolonging your own death. And the Storm Giant, he just moves up a little bit, 15 feet. He does try to summon another bolt of lightning to his hand, but only a few sparks appear in his hand instead. So he then reaches in for a rock, and he just says, "Do not listen to their false accusations, their persuasive and deceptive lies. They must be dealt with. Lord's Alliance, Schmord's Alliance." And he's gonna throw a rock at you, Thomas. The rock hits you and shatters on impact, hitting you for 41 bludgeoning damage. Jarek.
All right, let me take a look out here real quick. All right, that doesn't look a whole lot different than what I had seen before. So, is it the Cloud Giant that's walking away, or just standing there, or
Yeah,
what
the
I
Cloud
heard?
Giant
Yeah.
seems chill.
sounds like the
This guy's
the Cloud Giant and the Frost Giant are not hostile. So this guy and then this guy are not hostile. The rest are still.
All right. So I will do the same thing that I had done before. Use my last Warlock spell slot and cast. I will twin cast the spell Enemies Abound. Do you want me to put it in the description again?
Yeah, if you cast a spell, then you'll need to cast it.
I am, but it's not actually using the slot, so I'll just go back and
Okay.
do that. And that's going to be on the Stone Giant and on this giant here.
Okay.
Those are the two that are still hostile. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't know why it's saying 14 slots remaining as well. Something's
Yeah,
gone
it's
wrong
weird.
there.
Yeah.
All right, so you're doing it on the Fire Giant and the Stone Giant.
Correct.
Okay.
No.
No.
It is the Storm Giant and the
Stone.
Can you guys?
Storm
Yeah,
Giant
Stone.
and
Yep.
Stone Giant. Okay.
Yeah, these two right here.
The S's.
Storm Giant is affected. And the Stone Giant is affected.
This could get interesting.
And then I will step back to where I was, kind of. And I will turn as a bonus action, I will turn a first level spell slot into a sorcery point. And then I am done.
The Cloud Giant walks on over to you, Thomas. Gimme! And the Stone Giant's going to try and hit it with a great club. It hits the Cloud Giant. And the Cloud Giant does not seem impressed. You just had to go and use your magic on him, didn't you?
I didn't do anything. Here.
Where is he? And he doesn't take your rune anymore. Instead, he chases Jarek down, taking a dash action. Come here! And provokes from anyone who wants to attack. Alright, Rend, you take a swing and you hit. Alright, maybe he won't get that far if he's knocked over. Okay, alright, so let me just do his movement again. Alright, you hit him there, and you just kind of clip his Achilles with your axe.
He crushes Thomas and Roderick.
28 damage. Alright, that knocks him to the ground prone. And he will stand back up. And then he just says, I'll be back for you in a second. And then he will, as a bonus action, disappear. And he'll Misty Step.
Coward. Using magic.
And he then continues that dash action. And he runs here. And oh, he can't get that far. He stops there at the doorway. Ah! I seen what you did. I'll show you. And he just points at you, Jarek, and ends his turn there. Alright, meanwhile, this giant is looking around and has its great club out. And it's going to move here. And you'll need to roll me a D100, Ren. And actually, you will too, Thomas. He's going to swing the great club, confusedly. Oops, I don't know why I rolled 3. Disregard that second one. Alright, he's going to hit you, Thomas. Ah! And he pommels you to the ground for 32 bludgeoning damage. And roll a D100, Ren. He makes his second attack. And he swings at the frost giant with his mighty stone club. And he hits the frost giant. The frost giant just yells, "Ah! Cut this shit out!" And Mirren says, "See? They are turning us against ourselves!" And these giants are now becoming hostile again. We'll have to put a stop to that, Mirren yells out, and a bolt of lightning explodes into her hand. And she's going to throw the bolt of lightning at Thomas. Well, not at Thomas, but in between Thomas and Rend. And Thomas, you'll fail a death saving throw. Oh, whose mic's doing that? Someone's mic's going crazy. It's like coming in really loud. Alright, Thomas, you will fail a death saving throw. And it's it's going to hit you too, Roderick. It's within 10 feet.
Yeah.
So, deck saves. Mirren just launches this bolt of lightning straight onto that point.
Mine's with advantage.
Yeah, you see it coming. And Roderick, you manage to jump back and absorb some of that lightning. And you actually take 17 lightning damage with absorb elements. Rend, you take 17 lightning damage too with your resistance. Yeah, one failure for you, Thomas. It almost killed you outright, Thomas. 4 more damage and you'd be a goner. But you survive that, so it's only 1 failure. Persistent little wretches, aren't they? She screams out. Alright, that griffin does as he says, Roderick, and it gets up and flies into the room. And it'll dodge. Norin.
I don't know why Roll20's just been super.
Yeah, it's been like that on big maps lately.
Come on. There we go. 60 feet. I'm gonna lean down out of the saddle, uncork a greater healing potion, and pour it into Thomas's mouth.
Thomas, you open your eyes and your hair is standing up on end.
It's 44 plus 4.
Yeah.
Greater.
Thank you.
No problem. I mean, there's really no point in There's really no point in me trying to persuade any of them. I don't have a
Fire giant looked pretty persuasive. Looked like he was listening.
Yeah, he was listening.
I mean, is he still listening?
He is. He hasn't been like harmed by any of you guys, so he's looking, and you'll have automatic advantage if you are trying to persuade him.
I'm gonna bonus action second wind first. Get a little bit of my own health back. Oh, that is a terrible roll. I'll do it in a minute. Don't know what I would say to him. But I would try to. In giant, I'll speak to the fire giant, and tell him. Does this my companion say? Imrith is probably behind all of this. She came to the Eye of the Allfather and destroyed it. Well, I guess it's a little bit of a white lie there, but it was her fault.
Now you have
She's
advantage.
conspiring against all giants.
He's listening. Is that so?
Yes, it is. So I'll throw a persuasion out there. Come on.
You can do it.
God damn it!
Jeez.
If you say one more thing about my mother... Ha! Look around you! We are giants! Do you really
By the
think...
way, I had the action surge to do that.
Yeah. That we would tolerate a dragon in this court? Do you think that we would be fooled by a glorified lizard? I think not. Steel yourself.
We already have.
If you're lucky, I'll keep you. As a boot polisher. And he raises his greatsword again.
God damn it. Y'all just had to make me talk to him. You know, I'm not gonna go back in the room. Not with everybody out here so hurt already. I'm gonna hold my ground right there. That's my turn.
Alright, this giant is quite angry that he's getting attacked by the other giants because of you guys. So he tries to push by Braxow, and Braxow stops him. Here, I'll have to go through you then, he says, and he swings his axe at the stone giant. hitting the stone giant with the axe. Stone giant just says, "No, I cannot allow that. You are working with the assassins, and you must be punished as well." And he just says, "You're a stubborn one, aren't you?" And crits the stone giant, hitting him in the shoulder with the axe. And the stone giant persists with what he's saying and prevents the frost giant from seemingly getting back to you guys. The fire giant, on the other hand, he's not really amused by that little skirmish. He wants to squash people with his axe, so he moves 10, 15. He's going to use all his movement to squeeze in next to Braxow here, tower over everyone. Ha 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 ha! And he says, "I'm afraid I don't have use for a bird." And he's going to attack the griffin.
I'll force him to attack me instead.
Okay, you interpose yourself, Norin, and here it comes.
I'm going to use my warding maneuver. It's not going to help. Well, it might if I roll an 8.
You try to deflect the blow, and you take 15 damage, kind of glancing off this enormous axe. And he'll just swing at you, Norin, with his second attack.
Right.
And
Hey,
it's a miss. Oh, they are persistent, aren't they, sister? Oh, if I had my lightning bolt right now, the things I would do to them. Oh well. I guess these shells work pretty well, don't they? Here you go, catch! And she's gonna throw it at Rend. It's a giant shell at disadvantage. And you've got cover. It misses. It just hits this wall here. Alright, Roderick.
Okay. I am going to... I'm gonna smack this giant with my shillelagh. It's my plan. We've got a bonus 3 or something lightning damage somewhere.
Yep. 1d6 damage you'll get on top of that. It's a direct hit. Lightning explodes from the quarterstaff.
And I'll add a menacing attack on that as well.
Okay.
So that's the lightning and then it's my character. There we go.
Alright, an extra 7 damage. And I don't know what you do to him, Roderick, but the fire giant's eyes widen and he's just kind of points to your beard.
Butt plug is what he did.
Oh!
Very scared of that fucking
Not
dwarf.
that kind of slave! Oh!
Yeah.
Shillelagh butt plug.
Looks over Roderick's wearing leather. He's got a gag in his mouth. Oh no! And he becomes frightened for 1 round.
And then I'm gonna use Commander Strike on Rend to
He's used his reaction.
Oh, he has? Oh yeah. Whoops.
He's
I
already
won't use
in the midst of swinging at the cloud giant as this is happening.
Yeah. Alright. In that case, I will I'll just hit this giant again. Attempt to.
You hit him again. Smack him in the leg, buckling his greave a little bit, hurting his leg.
Yep. And then I'll second win.
Alright, Griffin stable. Rend, you're up.
Alright. Guess I'll move out of the fire giant's little square there. Come on, there you go. And I'm gonna tell the stone giant to sit down with a reckless great weapon master attack.
Okay.
Stop
Stone
attacking!
giant?
Yeah, this guy right here.
All right, your axe bounces straight off his stony leg.
Oh. Well then, try it again.
And that cuts straight through his stony leg. Is it a leg chop? It's not. But he's already taken like a great axe in the neck. And when you hit him in the leg there, he's almost dead. He kind of starts to stumble around. He is dropping to the ground. And he's still professing that the other giants are in league with you guys. And everyone's an assassin, except for him. I am the only non-assassin here! Or am I? Even questions his own being. Thomas, you can use half your movement to stand up.
Yeah, I'll do that for sure. So
I'll give you control of that there.
alright. That's as good as I can get. I can't hit the fire giant without hitting your end.
Alright, zapping the three of them. You hear a bit of a buzz in the air. And the giants grab their heads. And this is what happens. The stone giant just he lets out like a deep moan. Oh! He slams onto the ground.
Just stay down.
It shatters some of the section of the floor, and his massive club just hits the ground as well, like a fallen tree. The storm giant takes a little bit of damage, and he's also saying everyone's an assassin. What's your DC, Jarek?
It is a 16.
Alright, he's snapped out of that now. And then the Thane is shaking his head a little bit too, and he's under the effects of that synaptic static. He's grabbing his horned helm and whatnot.
Fire giant, I've seen him swim pretty far, I think, so I'm gonna get some cover behind Roderick.
As you do. Than.
So I'm going to my map is like completely frozen, but I don't think I need to move around anywhere too much. I'm gonna cast command, I think, on the guy that I can see. The storm or the is he a cloud giant?
Yeah,
Cloud.
So the cloud giant, I'm gonna command him to
Seppuku.
I don't really want to make him go prone because that's not going to help Jarek out. So I'm just going to command him to just stay where he is.
Okay.
And then I will also. So I'll do that. I better cast it first.
So that's on the storm giant that you're casting that on?
Well, yeah, but I think it did.
Cloud giant. Yeah, he just
Okay.
snarls. You stay out of this. I'll come for you next. You just wait there, you little fools.
And then I'll put the help action on him for his insolence.
We don't use the finger in our culture. That is a sign of respect, actually. But it's enough to distract me anyway. Not that it all matters. Not that it means anything.
And that'll be at the end of my turn.
Alright, the storm giant, he comes to, and he looks angry. Ah, for the queen, he says, and his eyes are these wicked-looking storms. There's like almost
The
like
queen was dead.
little raging for the dead queen. He's like he got that raging storm inside his eyeballs, and lightning appears in his hand, and he tosses that bolt of lightning to get these people here. He throws it, so it hits the Griffin, Norin, Thomas, and Roderick.
Oh boy.
God damn it, Norin.
Alright, it's not the biggest lightning bolt, but still destructive.
How you use it.
Alright, Roderick, you take 24 lightning damage as you absorb elements. Norin, you're hit for 48 points. Oh, 24 with your resistance.
24.
Yeah.
And
24.
my Griffin has evasion, so it's...
Alright, you managed to juke the Griffin out of the way completely. Wow, rear it up. Completely misses. And Thomas hits the floor again. And it doesn't really stray too far from the princesses, the storm giantesses. Jarek. You feel that your spell has expired too, Jarek. You notice it's like you're no longer concentrating.
Yeah, that's a shame. But let's go ahead and... I actually, guys, just so you know, I can't see anyone else at all. So, looks like I'm just gonna...
You're in that room by yourself, so that would make
Yep.
sense.
Yeah.
Toward home.
And neither can Thomas, that's true.
Right. So let me see what I can do with this guy. I am going to... quicken... That would do almost no good for me to do that. But... so, Seb, can I move to the east of him, like right here?
Yeah, because he's 2 sizes larger, you can go through his space. You can go under his legs and whatnot. He can't stop you. Come here!
I'll kind of like get underneath the, in between the legs of this statue right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of my sorcerer points. They're the only ones I have left. And I am going to quicken my agonizing blast at that guy. Let's just push him out of here.
Alright, first attack will be regular, advantage and disadvantage. Because Dan's flipping him off.
Yep.
Hit.
Alright, let's push him 10 feet down the hall.
Wah! He kind of slides backwards, almost hovers in the air slightly as he moves back.
Alright. So at this level, I get 3 of those per cast. So let's do it again. But this time it's just normal, correct?
Yeah. It whizzes on by him, that beam. And hit.
Okay.
That beam crashes into him.
Let's move him 10 more feet.
Alright, he gets knocked back and kind of starts slipping on the Griffin a little bit. Ah!
Right.
This giant chicken!
Now that is the first one. The next one's coming.
Alright. Next attack will actually have advantage because he's squeezed there. Griffin's cramping his style.
Well then, let's make sure
It's
that
a
that
hit.
worked. Let's push him 10 more feet.
Another beam knocks him back.
I got 2 more beams.
Alright, next one has advantage too. He's still squeezed. Griffin's all tangled up in his foot. That hits.
Alright.
Ah! He's all bruised and
Go
bloodied.
10 more feet.
You knock him into the next griffin.
Okay, and I am going to do my last one.
Alright, still got advantage. He's still squeezed. And it's a direct hit. Another beam. You hear some bones breaking.
Another 10 feet into that fire giant. Then.
Right. He's hurtled back into the fire giant. Ah!
And let's see, it's.
Thank you.
This is a pretty decent sized statue, correct?
Yeah, it's about 25 feet tall. It almost goes to the ceiling.
Okay, so I am going to move and try to get behind the biggest piece that I can.
How much movement do you have? I thought you used 30 already.
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, you're right. So again, I'll just stay within the feet of that thing there.
Okay. The statue will give you half cover if something attacking from the other side of it. Or you can get half cover from the legs.
All right. So I guess I think that's all I can do.
This giant is angry. Yeah, come here! I'm gonna get you! Alright, when he moves here, he provokes from Prince Tartha. And Prince Tartha says, "Ah! Assassins!" And just drives the great sword into the cloud giant's back.
Damn.
Ah! He seems so enraged, but he only blames you, Jarek. Now I've got you! And he then disappears and reappears in a silvery mist as he does a misty step. And he doesn't like cast the spell either. He's not like doing any. He doesn't do any verbal components or anything. He just disappears and reappears.
It's a spell.
It's a spell, but he's not doing any components. Oh, actually, sorry,
Yeah.
he does. He does have to do components.
Well, for Rend,
so.
it doesn't matter. It's a spell.
Yeah. No, actually, no. He does have to use verbal components. All right. Then he reaches you, Jarek, and he's going to try and pick you up. Come here! He reaches down and make a dexterity save. And you will have half cover against this, which is +2 on your saving throw.
So is he making like an attack at me, or?
He's not doing an attack, no. He's trying to pick you up. You need to make a dexterity saving throw. If it was an attack, it would be an attack roll, and then that would be going against your AC. Alright, you're very lucky, because that leg saves you from him grabbing you. Ah! He reaches down and you skirt in between the leg of the statue and it misses. And then he's just going to move up a little bit more. Come here, he says, and that's his turn done. Alright, Mirren is becoming increasingly agitated. Kill them quicker! Why is it taking you all so long? Puh! If you were all storm giants, this would be over by now. Don't forget, that is why we are in charge of you all. And she's just going to smirk a little bit more. Oh, I guess I have to do it myself then. And she's going to take a rock. And she's going to throw it at Jarek. He's turning us against ourselves, and it's at disadvantage. You have half cover. He tries to throw it all the way across the room, and it falls short, breaks on the ceiling somewhere. Your griffin is still just hanging out here dodging Roderick, unless you wanted to whistle for it or something.
I don't think it can handle the heat. I mean, not that weekend anyway, but
It's actually lightning. You're up. Norin.
Yeah, no shit.
I guess lightning is kind of makes fire.
Don't know what to do here.
There we go.
He's used his reaction, so
We're just gonna let the storm giants talk to him like that.
He already thinks everyone is. Oh no, he's not. No, he's not. He's just. Well, I just realized he doesn't have the enemies abound, so he shouldn't have attacked the count. But anyway, he did it now. He got confused.
I mean, Norin's already tried to talk to the fire giant, and it didn't work. It actually made him more. made
it worse.
Made it worse, yeah. So, yeah, bad shit's still happening. So I'm going to. Man, if they get lightning attacks and stuff, it's gonna be bad. I'm going to. I'm gonna feed another healing potion to Thomas. Because if he gets hit by a lot of lightning bolts, that's bad news bears. So I know it's not. I know another lightning bolt it's gonna put you right back down, but at the same time, we're resetting those death saves.
Yeah,
so that's another greater healing for Thomas.
Can you message the third sister to come save us?
we haven't met her. But
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to hidden step, so I'm invisible, so it looks like just the griffins there.
You can move.
Yeah, I mean I could.
You should.
We get out of the hall.
Yes.
well, you get. Oh yeah, because that guy's already attacked.
Yeah, staying clumped up right now is probably not a good idea.
They probably don't have lightning. Well, I mean, they might get it back. I don't know how that works.
You never know.
I guess I wouldn't have went invisible in that case, but whatever.
Oh, it's recharge, so it could happen.
That's it.
All right. The Thane seems satisfied that stone giant is dead now, and just warns you guys again. Oh, actually, no. Thomas hit him with a synaptic static. Never mind. Very well. Let's do this. Do you like my axe? You can have it. And he's going to attack you, Ren. Yeah,
You're my people.
Static on him. And 25. He hits you for 8 slashing damage. Again. He hits you for 12 slashing damage.
All right, I gotta do relentless rage. I gotta make a con save.
Okay.
This one's it's 10. I'll make it just because.
Yeah. Alright, you
So I'm at 1 hit point.
still standing. And the Thane seems impressed. You might even still be able to bring him around, who knows. But here's his intelligence save. He's still under the effect of the synaptic static. Alright, the prince, he is frightened. And he's just going to actually just... oh, that's actually good that you frightened him too, because he can't like just knock you guys over. So he'll just attack. He'll swing at you, Roderick.
Yep.
Get out of my head! Whoosh, swings over the top of you, miss. Get out! Again. Whoosh, clips you. and hits you for 30 slashing damage.
That's me.
That's you peacing out.
Alright,
Yep.
he brings you to the ground. And he ends his turn there. Nim just concurs with Mirren. You're right, we have to do things ourselves. I think our loyal giants have things covered at the front. But look at that little one, feebly hiding in the statue. Do you think I could hit him from here? I'll make you a deal, sister. If I can hit him, then I get to sit in the throne tonight. And she says, you're on! And attempts to throw a rock at Jarek. Disadvantage. And it completely misses. It doesn't even make it down the hall. Breaks apart on the wall in the main chamber. I lose. Roderick, death saving throw for you.
Let's roll a 20.
It's a failure.
Or not.
Alright, the Griffin's stable, so Rend, you're up.
Right. So this time, I'm going to point at the frost giant. Then I'm going to point at my axe. I'm going to shake my head no. Then I'm going to point back at him and then point to the wall for him to walk away.
He just gives you
Yeah,
a big
you don't-
smile.
You don't speak giant.
He shakes his head, and then he points to his axe, and he points to your face, and he points to his axe again. And then he actually kind of scratches his crotch a little bit, but you think he didn't. Like, that was just because he was itchy.
I can't speak giant, so I couldn't talk to him.
Then
All right.
hit him
then
in the face.
I shrug my shoulders then. And
He shrugs his shoulders too and smiles, and he holds up his axe.
all right. Reckless attack, great weapon.
Hit.
Come on. Gosh, what's going on here? All right. Hey, I did it twice.
And you hack into his leg hard, and the giant's very badly injured now. He's bloodied. He lets out a moan.
All right, once more.
Pain. And
There we go.
he seems to enjoy it. He smiles, especially the fact that you're drenched in blood and still fighting. He chuckles. And he catches Achilles' heel. And the great giant topples onto the ground, shuddering the floor around you. And he's prone.
And no crits. Oh, that's it.
Thomas.
Your healing's 2d4 plus 4.
Healing potion, 2d4 plus 2.
Greater.
4d4 plus 4.
44.
Alright, I feed that to Roderick.
Cool.
And I'll use half my movement to stand. Show me prone, but I was down. Bonus action. Misty.
Roll on the Wild Magic Surge table.
Oh,
I think you're still blue. You're permanently blue, Thomas.
Still the blue man.
Yeah.
And
Restore midget.
that back just a little bit.
Fan.
or wait a second. I think what I'll do is I'll cast command, or what should I do here? Oh boy. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to move up to here and get in range for all 4 of these. And at 4th level, I'm gonna cast command.
Okay, and you're using your bonus action to dash, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's beyond my movement. So I still have. Shit, I didn't measure.
That's 45 you've used. So you've
45. Okay.
Yeah.
So I still have. I got 70
20
feet.
25 left.
25. Okay. So command at 4th level, and I'm just gonna make them all grovel.
Okay.
Or wait a second, is that not good for Jarek?
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna cast that.
Alrighty. You yell out. You come out of the room, hold your hands up, and tell them all to grovel.
AOE grovel.
The storm giant does not look impressed. The frost giant says, "I'm only doing this because I'm already prone," he says, and he is affected. The fire giant, 16. Is that a success or a fail?
Is my DC, I believe. Hold on.
All right. He chuckles.
Unless something changed last.
Never, he says. And the cloud giant is not affected either.
Jeez. Big fail. Cool. And 25 feet. I guess I will just. This guy still has a reaction, correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Yeah, then I'll just stay put. There's no point. Whatever happens, happens.
All right.
Oh, I have a bonus. Oh no, I use my bonus action. Yeah.
This storm giant just says, "You come to our court and tell us to kneel before you.
What?
Treason." And he throws his rock at you, Than. And here it comes.
Because you told him to grovel.
Oh.
And it shatters your icy mantle. Wait, is 33 a hit?
I think so. Do I have half cover?
Alright, the rock, it breaks away all the ice covering you. And the storm giant ends his turn there. Jarek.
Awesome. I am going to get this guy off of me. Going to cast Agonizing Blast again.
This will be disadvantage. Hit.
Alright, let's move him 10 feet away from me.
Alright, that beam crashes into him and he's seriously injured.
Okay, let's do it again. This time it's normal, correct?
Yep. That hits him. The beam peppers him some more and he's still standing.
Let's push him 10 feet back.
You knock him into the griffin, so he's squeezed.
Alright, let's do it one more time.
And that hits. It peppers him some more. But he's not falling.
Okay, I'm actually going to move...
Did you want to push him again?
Yeah, push him again.
Okay.
And I'm going to move. Nice. And then I'm going to bonus action. As soon as I'm going to do that, as soon as I move just a little bit more. That was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then that is going to get me 30 feet. So from there, I'm going to move right there on that one right there. Do you see where my arrow is? Yep. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, you have to go 30 feet.
And then I will be done.
Yeah, get back here! And he chases you down, disappearing and reappearing as he casts Misty Step. Ah, you trickster! You'll take everything from us! He's yelling at you in common. Well, it's time to take some things back! Starting with your life! Perhaps I'll use your magic items to make a bargain with more level-headed small folk. Or perhaps I'll just eat you! Ah! And he roars at you and he takes a swing with his Morning Star. He hits for 25 piercing damage.
Alright.
Still standing, eh? And he'll take another swing. And it whizzes over the top of you. At this stage, he's so badly injured. He starts to stagger around. And he's leaning up against the walls. Oh, I don't feel so good. Alright, the sisters are persistently throwing rocks. Move, Prince Tartha! Your big head is in the way. Or your small head. And she's going to throw a rock at Rend. At disadvantage. Because of range. And that's a miss, because you got cover from her sister. And you too, Nim! Get out of my way! Pushes her sister a little bit. Alright, your griffin's still just dodging there, Roderick. I'll just leave it there. Norin, you're up.
Yeah, this guy's just in my face, so don't like that. I'll take out my trident and
It's a miss. The trident just kind of hits his light clothing, but doesn't pierce it. That hits. Alright, you just fly up, spin the trident around, and slash him across the neck. Ah! He grabs his neck, blood waterfalls over his hand, and he just sinks into a sitting position on the ground here, dead.
that's good. Yeah, this all went to shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Will it be difficult terrain to get through, Thomas?
You can fly over. Actually, sorry, yeah, the doorways are only size for small fellows. So 10 feet,
Okay.
basically. So yeah, one
So,
square to squeeze by him.
Okay.
How high do you want to be when you get into this hallway? It's 30 feet tall.
I used 40 feet to get out there. I'm probably not going to stay out here. So just being right where I'm at is fine.
So like 15 feet?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got one more attack. I'm just gonna throw a javelin. Let's throw it at the frost giant. I know it's gonna be disadvantage anyway because of range. So throw the javelin at the frost giant.
That hits him. And the javelin sticks into him. He's bleeding profusely, but it does not kill him.
I rolled a 1 1 and a 2 on damage rolls. Damn. Yeah, I don't have my action surge anymore, so I'm just gonna fly back in the room. Come on, shit. Oh, I'm accidentally clicking on the other griffin too.
Take them all with you.
Let's see.
The Griffin Whisperer, even when they're unconscious.
And the griffin will use the dash action, so it can fly back into here where it was before.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Alright, the Thane just is screeching, "Let me up!" And he just continues groveling for his turn. Alright, the Fire Giant, on the other hand, he is focusing on doing some damage. He will try to tackle Than and Roderick. He just kind of moves forward and just kind of leans down, trying to knee both of you guys, provoking from Rend. Swing and a miss. It's too sudden. And Than, you need to make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. He then steps back after he does that. He knocks you to the ground prone. And he will attack his prone targets, starting with Roderick. He just tries to push the greatsword down onto you guys.
Yep.
And he renders you unconscious and dying on the ground, Roderick. And his next attack is at Than. And it just catches you, Than, finding a gap in your armor. You're not able to get out of the way quick enough. So you too are rendered unconscious and dying. He then turns around to face Rend. Ah, come on! Nim?
Big giant, right?
Yeah. Nim is still just like yelling out to all the giants about their incompetence. And he's going to try and throw another rock at you, Rend. Advantage and disadvantage. Basically a giant shell is what she's throwing. And you'll need to make a constitution save.
Yeah, it's 15 this time. Shit.
The shell smacks you onto the ground, unconscious and dying. Right, Roderick, you'll need a death save.
Take 2.
And I'll take the Griffins out of initiative too now because they're not participating. Alright, that's a failure. Rend, you'll need a death save.
Hey!
Oh, it's not a natural 20.
It's not a natural 20.
Oh, it's not?
It's 19 plus 1.
Oh, plus
Where's the plus 1 come from?
Yeah, it would have been in green. You must have a bonus on +1 cloak of protection or something. +1 on saving throws.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, you have one failure, one success, sorry. Alright, whoops. Thomas, you're up next.
Alright. Pull out the genie bottle and open it.
Alrighty. Pull out the Afreti bottle and pop the cork. It's not really the time for celebration, but perhaps it is. Roll a D100. You can determine what happens.
Oh my god.
Right.
Alright,
Tell him to kill giant.
we'll take our 10-minute break now. I'll get a Afreti for you. It looks like it's going to continue quite a while longer, this fight. So let's have a quick breather. And I'll see you guys back in 10 minutes. As this Afreti comes to serve you. He may have just completely turned the tables on this fight.
Well, it could have gone a lot better, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just keeping myself for all the wasted action zone diplomacy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that we needed a 20, to get him to stop. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. because I have a -1 to all my charisma stuff.
Well, being in that hallway is a death trap as well. So.
Yeah, that's why even going out and the one I succeeded on was a waste because he turned anyway and I got fried.
Red, me with that stupid death save.
How's everyone doing?
Good, good.
Very good.
Unconscious.
That's probably the best. The best at the moment. You don't have to feel any pain.
Yeah, taking a short rest. Or maybe a long rest, depending on how it goes.
Maybe a really long rest.
Longest
Permanent rest. You don't just only recover your hit points. You actually gain a new class and race. And Alright, so quick little recap. As you guys have come to the Giant's Court, it seems that Mirren and Nim have decided that you guys would be better off being disposed of, tricking you guys into thinking that you were going to have an audience with their younger sister. They've commanded a handful of these different giants to kill you guys because you're assassins that are in league with the Lord's Alliance. Things could go any way at the moment. And suddenly Thomas pulls out this Efriti bottle, and when you pop it, this red smoke hisses out from the unstoppered bottle in front of you, and a 10-foot tall, powerfully built, red-skinned genie, wearing all the trappings of some kind of exotic fellow, with a large blade in its hand, a huge falchion. And its lower torso is actually, unlike a lot of genies, it actually has like legs, this thing, instead of just like a little swirling gas. And it just, it says, by your command, what can I do for you, master?
Slay the storm giant.
Okay. When you speak, the voice is like a telepathic one, and you seem to be able to understand him and vice versa. Very well. It shall be done.
Neato.
My pleasure. And bam, he's on initiative. He'll do what you tell him to do, Thomas.
Alright, so that was an action to open that. So
Fan, you will need a death saving throw. Failure. What trickery is this, small folk? Ha! I will show you, princesses, the power of our kind. The reason why we preside over all others. Feel the Storm King's thunder, he says. And he's going to throw the lightning bolt straight at this Efriti. And it's inadvertently going to hit you too, Thomas. You'll need a dexterity save. The lightning bolt, it kind of hits the ground. The griffin's going to be dying again now, so I'll have to roll it into initiative. If it doesn't get killed outright, that is. And the Efriti just effortlessly tries to dodge backwards. He doesn't really seem too fussed whether he gets hit or not. And he is hit. And the griffin's still alive. So the griffin survives. And Thomas, you are hit for 52 lightning damage. And the Efriti is also hit for that damage. Efriti is not too phased by that, to be honest. He just lets out a bit of a deep breath and ends his turn. Jarek.
I am going to cast a spell. Mirror image. Actually, yeah. And can I give one of my healing potions to Thomas as well, or no?
Administering a potion is an action.
It's an action. Okay.
You can give it to him, he just won't be able to use it.
Right.
Here you go. Put it on his chest.
Put it in his hand.
Here, take this.
All right. Then, as a bonus action, I am going to turn a first level spell slot into a sorcery. Gives me 1 sorcery point. And just 1 second, let me see how far away I am from Thomas. And I'll move there. End my turn.
Alright, Mirren smirks. You can run, small folk, but you can't hide. Why don't you come out? We'll give you the audience with our younger sister. Good one, sis. Oh, one of them's still twitching. Let's fix that. And she's going to throw a rock at Ren. Oh no, she's got the Afriti. She'll do the Afriti. What have they summoned? A servant? And it misses. Norin.
Does moving through the Afriti space count as difficult terrain for like both tiles that I need to move through it? Or
just count one space, like one extra space.
I thought oh my god, this lag is killing me. There we go. Son of a bitch. There's really no point in healing anybody at this point because of all the other things around. I'm gonna try to take out the frost giant. So I'll be throwing some javelins. There's 1.
Miss.
2.
And a miss. It hits his armor. Same with that javelin. Bounces off his patchwork armor.
I'm going to the Griffin will use the dash action, and I'm gonna move to this other room. So not the same room that Thomas is in the room. That's it.
Alright, the Afriti is going to just say, burn! Much like Thomas would. And he casts a spell. A line of fire cuts through the three giants. Not that anyone can see it, I don't think. And his DC is higher than 0.
They
All right.
automatically succeed.
He tries to kill the storm giants, and they're just shrieking at the Afriti to die next, basically. All right, the Thane brings himself to his feet, and he's looking kind of out of it. He looks down at Rend and just smiles. Huh. My job is done. And he takes himself away. I've had enough. And he starts to head to his room. Coward! Mirren calls out to him. Alright, meanwhile, Prince Tartha just looks down. Ha! Little fire creature? You think you preside over me? Well, I will beat you into submission and capture you for my own. And he attacks the Afriti. He goes toe-to-toe with the Afriti. He slices the Genie. He hits again, slashing through its flesh. And the Genie just smirks. Doesn't seem bothered at all by getting hit or whatnot. That one's using fire magic! Destroy it! My god. And Nim will throw a rock. And that misses. Roderick, you'll need a death save.
Alright. Where it is. Oh, I die. I'm dead.
I think you're going to need to see a doctor about that, Roderick.
I don't think I'll get to see the doctor.
You'll need Revivify. Quick.
Or something. God.
Rend, that's a success. Thomas, you'll need a death save.
We have so many people in death saves. And one person dead.
Sorry.
That's a failure. Than, you'll need a death save. That's a failure. The Griffin needs a death save. It's a failure. Alright, you guys are just basically hearing the fight at this stage, those of you that are still conscious. And here comes a rock at the Afriti. You hear that, and you probably see it too. Knock into the Afriti. And the Afriti's looking pretty injured at this stage. Jarek.
All right. I am. Let's see, where's he at on that whole thing? Let me just see how far I can get up here. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get right here, and then I'm gonna cast. See who I can see. All I can see is Thomas. Is that correct?
Yeah, as far as your allies go. Thomas and a Griffin.
Healing word on Thomas. And that is a bonus action, and I'll be done.
Do you take an action?
Dodge, I guess.
Okay.
I moved 25 feet. I don't see anything else really in view. Is that correct?
There's a fire giant like right out the front of the door.
Oh, well then let me move over one because I have 5 more feet. Oh, that was weird. Okay, there we go. Looks like he has partial cover, right?
He would have cover, yeah, half cover.
Nice. That's okay. I like doing partial cover. Let me go ahead and see if I can't hit him.
Hit.
Push him back as far as I can. May not be 10 feet since that's a wall right there.
Alright, the beam slams into him. And you still got line of sight on him. He's going to have
All right.
3/4 cover now.
Okay.
That hits him. Right, the beam slams into his shoulder, buckling his polder.
And we'll just leave him there so I can try it again.
That hits. And the other beam smacks into his neck. He starts to choke a little bit. And cough and whatnot.
All right. Then now I'll be done.
Oh, their little pet is burning us. Finish them off. I'll be right back. Norin, you're up.
20 feet. Okay, so got a fire giant, storm giant to deal with still. Come on. I'm gonna take my lance that I've had for forever. That I've specially made a holster for on the Griffin. Take it out. Charging in at this fire giant. Try to pin him down.
Like, do you have like advantage or something with a lance? Or,
No.
you're the first person to ever use a lance in existence. It has. I know it has some sort of special feature.
I can't. If I'm within 5 feet, it's disadvantage. I can use it one-handed if I am mounted.
Mounted. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you charge him. Joust. And that hits.
It's called a lance.
A lance. All right, you lance him straight in his arm, finding a gap in his armor there. He chuckles. Ha ha.
That was a 1 on the damage roll, of course. Let's try that again. I only get advantage on things that are smaller than my mount.
Hit. You stick him again.
Might as well have been throwing javelins. One more time.
Crit.
There we go. Oh my god. 2 and 2 on a
Right.
D12.
Still learning how to fly the Griffin a little bit. You've only had a few days training. You rear back and you directly hit him in the neck. It kind of only pierces through the flesh in his neck, but you've actually put him in a bloodied state. Ha!
I rolled I rolled a 1 and 2 and 2 on damage rolls.
You got all the good rolls coming up in a second.
Well, I hope. Well, they'll be for death saves.
Well, that's what you want. That's a good thing.
Because I can't get out of here. Because I'm pretty sure they have reach, and he hasn't used his reaction for anything. So yeah, I guess that's it. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Come on, Afridi.
The
Come on.
Afridi places the bottom of his palms together, cups his hands, and holds them behind his back. And then he says, "Afrukin, and he throws a ball of fire at the storm giant. Or actually, it hits the fire giant and does nothing.
Or does he?
Try that again.
A Fukin! And he misses. But he still blocks the doorway there. I'm trying my best, Master. It will be done soon, he says.
We are never going to summon you again. Most likely because we will be dead, but that's neither here nor there.
It's been a good day! Time to go home! The Thane yells out, and you just hear him like open a door and that's it. He's gone. He's had enough. Leaving a trail of blood as he walks away. Adding some more battle scars to his resume. Alright, the fire giant faces you, Norin. And he's going to just step forward and knock you and the griffin with his shoulder. And both of you need to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. This one will be for the griffin. Come on, roll. I know I clicked it.
You got like saddles and a rein and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It gives you advantage, I'm pretty sure too.
That's the griffin.
Alright, the griffin just you force the giant back. Both of you just knock the giant back into his place. Ha!
This griffin has to be pretty buff to carry me around, so it makes sense.
The giant he doesn't really have any honor, and he does try to attack your griffin, Naren. Did you want to redirect it?
As a player, I wouldn't, because that would be the smart thing would be to let him attack the griffin, but Norn wouldn't let him. I'll redirect it to me.
Okay. He's a swinging, and he's a missing. You kind of duck and interpose your antlers. Antlers get kind of caught in the great sword, and he'll attack you again.
Mm-hmm. Another miss.
And those antlers are doing work. You just put your head forward, and it's like a sai, like you know that three-pronged Ninja Turtle weapon.
I need to take Tavern Brawler and then just start sticking things with the antlers.
The greatsword is caught on the antlers, and he brings the greatsword back.
I've got you what I want you to know.
Alright, Nim is kind of just reverted to just kind of taunting you guys now. Mirren will be back soon. She's just going to get some more rocks. It seems like your heads are, well, quite sturdy. Oh, but I've been blessed. I don't need a rock. It's over.
Fuck.
And she throws the lightning bolt here to hit the Ephrati and the griffin. And dexterity save for the griffin.
Okay. Okay, it fails, but it does have evasion, so hopefully it doesn't do...
The griffin takes 24 lightning damage. The Ephrati just slightly moves back, and he also takes 24 lightning damage. Persistent.
So proud of my griffin.
Alright, Roderick, you're just haven't really left the material plane yet. You can hear some dwarves calling you. Roderick,
Come home.
come and have an ale. Come on now.
Shuffle off my mortal coil.
The ale is sweet here. Sweeter than anything on the material plane.
And the rocks are abundant.
It's made from pure rock juice. It's we drink concrete. Alright. And death save. It's a failure. Thomas, you're alive. You're conscious. You can use half your movement to stand up.
Alright, I'll do that. I'd be squeezing through there, Freddy would.
Yeah. You'll have to take off a square of difficult terrain if you want to go through his space.
I'll squeeze in just a bit.
Feel free to give him a different command as well.
Oh. Yeah, no, he can't do much. He's a fire guy, so he's not going to do much against the fire giant.
He's got a reasonably large
He has a
sword.
sword on him, right? Yeah.
All right. So yeah. All right. Kill the fire giant, and I'll
Of course.
step back, and I'll throw a lightning chromatic orb at this.
You're stepping in and then stepping back?
Yeah, I just wanted to, because I was gonna.
Okay.
attack
This
something
guy
else,
is
but I
going to
didn't wanna-
attack.
Oh.
You just left his threat range. And you've got you're only 17 AC, so even with the cover it's not going to help you.
How much cover? The shield bring me up to an.
It looks like it's only half cover from there. I'll check. Yeah, you've only got half cover from him there, Thomas. So it's going to hit. And you're down. Alright, Fan, death saving throw. And the Griffin needs a death saving throw.
I see the dove.
3 failures for you as well?
Yep.
Good. Okay, death doesn't have to mean a defeat, necessarily. Alright, Griffin needs a death save. It's a failure. The Storm Giant. It doesn't do anything. They've thrown all their rocks for now.
Oh. Oh, she's literally going to go get more rocks. Okay.
I thought that was just some weird taunt.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, they've been throwing rocks pretty much every turn. They only have so many. Alright, they don't have unlimited rocks. Alright, Jarek, you're up.
Wow, not a whole lot more we can do, huh? Norin, you're still up, and that's what I see. There is a giant there as well. Okay. Thomas, don't do it again.
Yeah.
Bonus action healing word on Thomas. And then I will shoot at that guy like I did before. Did you say he's got half cover, right?
Yeah.
Right in there.
Miss.
That's a miss.
And a crit. Alright, you just blast him straight in the face. Poof, it knocks his head back, and his face is covered in blood. You broke my nose! Next beam hits the wall.
All right. It was aimed at where his head used to be. And then I'm actually going to move out of the way.
Norin.
I mean, keep tagging the fire giant. That's really all I can do at this point.
Or you can come into the room. You do have options.
Or you can just let me play, please. I'm gonna drop the lance and take out the trident and start stabbing. Motherfucker.
Miss.
That's what you were saying the whole time.
That hits.
No wonder you couldn't convince them.
I guess, yeah, probably. That's another one for a damage roll.
Alright, the trident glances the fire giant.
Well, I guess since Thomas did tank its reaction,
He meant to
I'll,
do that.
yep.
It's all
He did
part of the
that.
plan.
He did that to help me. Oh, I'll put my unwavering mark on it, by the way, with that.
Is it? I think the unwavering mark is automatic if you hit, right?
I think I had to be within 5 feet.
Oh yeah. If
Wanna
you're
do
within
that.
5 feet. Okay.
And you have to pick which one. Like,
Yeah, like I have
is it
to.
once per turn, or you can only have one at a time?
I thought it was
I
if
can
you
have as many
hit.
as I want.
Yeah, if you as
Okay.
long as you hit, you unwavering mark, and then you can like do something extra or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my unwavering mark doesn't really help unless I'm within 5 feet of it. I'm just gonna stay there then. So it'll have disadvantage on anything except me. And it won't go after Thomas. Guilty.
Alright, the F3T is going to fly in a little bit closer. Takes up to the air to meet the fire giant face to face. And he's going to attack with his flaming falchion. And the fire giant parries his first attack. That hits. Slashes the fire giant. The giant is not going down that easily. Still got some fight left in him. So he attacks back at disadvantage.
He got too close to me. he picked up my roll 1 for damage disease.
Damn you, double ones. Just when you need the good rolls. That's a miss. The Ifriti parries him, and he attacks the Ifriti again. And it hits. The Ifriti is badly injured. The wall of fire drops. But it's not enough to put the Ifriti down either. Nim. She just continues taunting you guys in a childish manner. Alright, Roderick, you're currently drinking some spectral concrete. It's not bad. Rend, you'll need a death saving throw.
On that 20.
Hit.
It's another failure.
2 and 2. Bottom of the ninth. Next down.
Thomas, you can use half your movement to stand up.
That. Then I won't have enough movement to step in and step out. Will I?
You will. Half your movement to stand up, 10 to move in, 5 to move in, another 5 to move out of its reach.
Then I'm gonna throw a chromatic orb at it at 4th level. Use Tides of Chaos for advantage.
Okay, roll on the Wild Magic Surge table as well. Do something good.
Fireball on yourself.
Do not do that.
Hey,
nice.
that's really good.
Alright, that chromatic orb misses. And it explodes on the far wall. And then yeah, you kind of like phase in and out of existence, being able to teleport.
Oh, that'll be good. And that doesn't count as casting a spell, does it?
Nope. It's not a Misty Step or anything.
Alright, I'll use my action this turn, so I won't. I'll teleport back 5 feet just in case I'm in his reach.
Gunshot now.
Alright, Then you're going to go and meet Callum 4. But takes about a minute before your soul leaves the material plane.
Fall on the dove.
The griffin needs to make a death saving throw.
Let's see.
It lets out its core of death. The griffin is no more. Alright, there's still that storm giant at the stairwell. Oh, curses, he says. And he's just got his great sword out. He looks like he could probably reach you, but he doesn't. He looks like he's guarding that stairwell purposefully. And that's his turn done. He will look like he does have the sword brandished ready to attack though. Alright, Jarek.
Alright, I'm gonna move forward. Okay, looks like he's in the same spot, right?
Yeah, he hasn't moved.
He moved forward or...
If Free T's moved in.
Oh yeah, free to move forward.
He's
Okay.
going toe-to-toe with the Fire Giant. Fire Giant's pretty badly hurt.
Yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and fire off at him. Yep, that's a miss.
That hits. Another beam crashes into the giant. That misses.
Okay, just 1 sec. Sorry, my computer just reset the screens. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. And does it look like we have... I can't see anybody else, can I?
Doesn't look like it, no.
If I move into that spot where Thomas is,
You're within the Fire Giant's reach, yeah.
and then how about in that spot right there? Am I still in with his reach or no?
No, he's got 10 feet. So you'd be moving in and then out of his reach.
All right, can I see Rend?
Good
Is Rend right
question.
here?
No, that's he's got a beard, but that's Roderick.
Okay.
You should have line of sight of Ren though.
I should.
He's over
From where I'm
there.
at?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll need to actually step within the Ifrites. Actually, yeah, so it's 10, 20. Let me look at this real quick. Oh, it's 60 feet. I'm good. Going to the... It's funny. It's the only spell slots I have left. I'm going to cast Healing Word as a bonus action on Rend, because he still has a death save. Is that correct?
Yep, one more.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and do that.
He looks alive. You don't know how many his amount
Yeah,
of death
I mean, he
saves
looks
are.
alive. Yeah, he's the only one that is no longer... There we go. So that is...
Alright, you're up on 8 hit points, Rend.
That's awesome. 2 1s. See, you're right. I was too close to you. And I think that I'm actually going to... If I move back 1, I'm still within 10 feet. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, I'll move back 1 then. will end.
Norin.
All right. Since he was marked and dealt damage to an ally, I can make a bonus action attack against him. It will have advantage. So I'll do that one first.
Hit.
Alright, and then I get a little extra damage from the unwavering mark. There we go.
Alright, you slash him a good one with the trident across the neck, and the fire giant's about to fall. One more hit like that and he's gone.
Alright, and I got 3 attacks, and they're all coming at him. If it will roll. Come on. I know I clicked it.
It's a miss. That hits. And you stick him again, embedding the trident deep into his neck once more. You pull it out, blood flicks all over the wall, yet the fire giant remains standing.
Alright, and I got one more attack. Clicked it. Come on.
Suspense is killing me.
Me too. Shit.
And he blocks you with his fancy-looking neck armor.
I will remark him. So he'll have the unwavering mark on him again. Yeah, a 3D. Please kill this thing. That's it. Nice.
He spins around and he finishes the job, completely slicing through the fire giant's neck, beheading the giant. The head falls onto the ground. The Afriti looks down at the fire giant. Next, he says. What is your next command?
Attack the nearest giant.
Of course. I was waiting
We're
for.
gonna say anything else. I was like, oh no.
He says, very well. He does look like he was about to attack either the Griffin or Jarek, looking for some sort of loophole. But he just kind of kicks off the ground and glides over towards the storm giant. All right. Nim just says, "Don't get any closer! My god will cut you down!" And Roderick, you're still drinking some concrete. We'll go over to Rend. Rend, you can use half your movement to stand up.
I'll stand up. I'll go ahead and say I got 8 hit. Okay, and then I'll slowly start stumbling my way over there. Let's see, so I got 20. Oops. God, come on. Trying to move, sorry. There we go. And I just kind of point my axe to him and said, "This carnage is your fault. We're not assassins." And then, yeah.
Do you want to use your action to try and persuade the storm giant?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
My giant 0.
Storm giant just says, lies! Lies! Thomas.
All right. See how this does this time.
Alright, synaptic static. Alright, firstly, Nim. makes an intelligence saving throw. Mirren's not there as well, by the way. She's like long gone. Gone to go get rocks.
Alright.
That's why she hasn't been throwing lightning bolts at you guys. Alright, Nim. She fails. The Storm Giant. He fails. Oh! He grabs his head as they both take the full brunt of psychic damage.
And yeah, I'll step back.
Alright, same thing, Than. Still just in that. Oh, you're dead. The Storm Giant, he kind of stumbles around a little bit, swinging that sword about. Oh, come, small folk! Feel the power of the Storm Giants, he says. And he continues just guarding the stairwell. Jarek.
I thought the storm giants were more intelligent than that. Let's move out 5 feet. Well, now we can see a few of them. Well, let's just keep pressing, I guess. Is Rend in the same spot that I had seen him before?
Rend is in this space.
Excellent. Okay. I'll be hitting. Wait a second. Can I see just the one sister that's in the very back? Is that correct?
Yeah, Mirren's not there. I'll hide her token.
Yeah, just making sure. All right. So I'm actually gonna aim at her then.
That is a miss.
Yeah, not that she can tell because it's probably not coming anywhere close.
That hits.
And she has no other place to go than where she's at, so we'll just keep her there.
Alright, the beam slams into her and she screams. Get them! She yells at the guard, and next beam just hits the
And
wall of the
then
stairwell.
I will move back down. And let's see. As a bonus action, I will turn one of my 3rd level spells into sorcery points. I now have 3 sorcery points. And I'm done.
Norin.
I have 4. Sorry, 4 sorcery points because I had 1 before.
Okay.
Yeah, things are looking pretty grim. Hold on. All I meant to do works anyway. The full movement of the griffin. The griffin is going to dash. I'm gonna move.
Now this Storm Giant has his sword ready to swing if you get near him. Be warned.
Yeah, I'm not actually getting near him. I'm gonna start throwing javelins at him. No, it's not a ton of damage, but it won't be at disadvantage, which is gonna be the first time in a while. I don't know that it matters.
You drop the javelin on the ground. That hits. Are you sticking with the javelin?
Not a 1.
And it finds a gap in between the layers of scale armor that he wears. Doesn't look bloodied yet, though.
I didn't figure. And I'm gonna use the rest of the Griffin's dash to move up. Say up, north. So I'm not right by the Afridi and Rend. It's my turn.
The Afridi crosses his arms, nods his head, and says, "Burn!" And a fire elemental explodes into the storm giant's space.
Nice.
Oh, you can just summon an elemental. Cool. I don't know much about Afridis.
Alright, so the fire elemental, it rolls initiative. And I think it goes right now.
Awesome.
If I can move it up in the turn order. Alright, the fire elemental, it does exactly that. It tries to burn everything that it can. And it starts by just existing in the storm giant's space, which catches the storm giant on fire. And you can roll me 1d10. Actually, I've got the... I'll let you control the elemental if you want, Thomas. You can control the damage. Actually, I think it's probably quicker if I just do it, because you can't see it.
Yeah, I can't even see.
Alright, it catches the storm giant on fire. And he's burning now. And I think the storm giant's actually going to attack too, because it had a readied action. So here it comes. The storm giants have this massive sword. It's made of whalebone. And it looks like it would hurt if it hits. It does hit the fire elemental, even with the synaptic static. But the elemental resists the damage. And then the elemental is just going to just start dancing around the storm giant, pushing its like kind of humanoid hands on him and just starting up a big fire. And the storm giant is just roaring out "Ah!" in agony as Afridi watches on and just chuckles. Nim just says, "Don't let them get any closer!" And she actually says, "Oh, damn it, Mirren, you're taking too long. No one gets past the stairwell. Is that understood? I'll have your head if you allow that." And she actually runs up the stairwell and flees when she sees the threats getting closer. She did try to summon some more lightning and throw it at everyone's face one more time, but she didn't have any luck. But yeah, it appears these sisters are not too fond on being engaged in melee combat, funnily enough. Alright, Rend, you're up.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus to rage. And run up here. The fire elemental, I won't catch on fire being that close to him, will I?
If you go inside the fire elemental, generally they catch you on fire.
Okay.
But being next to him is not going to burn you.
Okay. Didn't want to hurt you, buddy. And Great Weapon Master Reckless. Shit.
Yes.
I'm still woozy.
That hits. Alright, the Giant Slayer cannot cut off Storm Giant's legs. They're too strong.
Okay.
But you hit him hard. 39 damage.
And
The Storm Giant's bloodied. Yeah, he used his reaction.
or no?
He did.
In that case, I'm gonna back up my last 10 feet.
And he swung at the fire elemental with his ready action. Alright, Thomas. You've kind of starting to get on top of the storm giant. The sisters have seen threats getting closer and have backed off, it appears.
Well, I think the fire elemental's got the right idea. I'll scream. Burn!
Alright, drop a fireball straight on the Storm Giant. And he's engulfed, taking the full brunt of the fire. Let's roll on the Wild Magic Surge table, Thomas. Let's make things interesting.
I'm blue again. I'm little boy blue.
You're so blue that there's no true bluer color possible in existence.
You just keep getting darker and darker blue every time.
His RGB value is just 0 and everything but blue.
Alright, the Storm Giant is burning at the start of its turn. Ah! And he's swiping. Ah! Squatus, grant me power! And he holds out his hand, but he does not get a lightning bolt in his hand. So, he does exactly as he's ordered to do. Like a loyal dog. He stands back and guards the stairwell. And he starts swinging at the fire elemental. Whoosh! He catches it. Whoosh! And he catches it. His blade is not very effective though, because it's not magical. And he's having trouble dealing with this fire elemental. And he'll make an intelligence saving throw. And that's his turn done. He gets a 16, so he's still got the synaptic static on him. Jarek.
All right, let's go ahead and send some more agonizing blasts his way.
Hit. You pepper him with the beam. You hear it slam into him. Crit. Straight in his face. It knocks his head back. His beard flourishes up in the air and he staggers, almost tripping over the bottom step. He does interpose his armor, spinning around, and he just tenses his muscle. The beam bounces off his bicep.
Again, aiming for where his head used to be. All right. And I would kind of like to see what's going to happen. Let's see, I moved 10. He's out of rocks, is that correct?
Yeah. He's like already turned his bag upside down. Turned it out.
Just one moth comes out of it.
All right, then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move to here. Well, before I do that, I sent you a quick question. Is there anything I can do for these guys that are in the hallway?
They're dead. So,
dead.
Revivify,
They're dead,
Raise
so-
Dead, True Resurrection.
All right.
Weekend at Bernie's.
That's
The Bernie
something
style.
I can't do, unfortunately.
Yeah, they will need to. You guys will need to make
They
new
were our
characters
healers.
or find a way to get resurrection. Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what options there are for next session. Norin.
All right, let's fly in a little closer. Not that close. I just wanted to get just 30 feet away from it. I'm having a hard time
That's fine.
controlling the token. I think that's 30 foot. Well, anyway, I'll be 30 foot away. And I'll throw some more javelins at him. I don't want to get anywhere near that sword. And if he doesn't look like he's moving away from the stairs, there's no sense in getting up in its face.
Yeah, he looks like he'll die guarding that staircase.
Yeah, well, let's try to make that happen.
Hit. And the javelin sticks into him. Oh, he's so tough because he won't fall.
I know that storm giants are normally good guys, but, well, thanks to them,
Small folk,
we have 2 people that are dead.
I cannot allow you to harm the princess. Oh, that landed me right in right in my
I did not think that was a body part. I'll throw another one.
Miss. He just swipes the javelin midair, just backhanding it.
So
Sending
did he
it
say
flying.
princess or princesses?
Princess, because they accused you guys of coming here to assassinate Princess Sarisa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well.
The Afriti is just chuckling. I don't know which will be a sweeter release. My elemental demise or cutting your neck. And he just speeds towards the storm giant with his falchion forward like a spear. And the storm giant catches the Afriti midair. The Afriti just smiles some more. Burn him. And the fire elemental just starts like spinning around the storm giant, building up a bigger and bigger fire. Ah! And he's screaming because the storm giant is literally a flaming. He looks like a fire giant now. And the Afriti then like gets out of the storm giant's grip, grabs the storm giant by the beard and yanks his head down for Ren. Here's some neck for you, he says.
Alright. Yeah. Let's see if we can. God, everything's jumpy. Alright, reckless and we're going to great weapon.
And it hits.
Nice.
And you can't chop his leg off, but you can chop his head off. And that's what you do.
Nice.
His head just starts to roll around on the ground. Up the stairwell, you see Mirren just kind of peering around the corner. And she just kind of screams, "Run him! Run! They've breached our defenses!" And they quickly run off. Unless you guys wanted to keep fighting them.
I mean, not really.
Alright, I'm going to break initiative. The threats have been dealt with.
Gotta say, I cannot believe that my griffin is alive.
The one that's in the room, or the one that you're on?
The one that I'm on.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have like a raise or a resurrection scroll or anything.
Options for
Don't think
Roderick and Than. You guys can either make a new character, level 11, or we'll figure out a way to have you guys resurrected next session. It's up to you guys. What you want to do.
All right. That was a good one. I was surprised.
We have plenty of gold, and we have a lot of diamonds.
Well, you've got even more gold now. Because these giants that have fought you were all... they had all the jewelry of royals. And that now lie on their fallen bodies all over the ground. So I'll presume that you guys will go through and get that.
Yeah.
Alright, the Val. 5 dead giants on the ground here. Val, the Count, he wears a diamond-studded platinum earring worth 7,500 GP. A vest with platinum embroidery worth 2,500 GP. And tied to his belt is a magic item. It's a very rare magic item. It's a conch of teleportation.
You tease.
And a potion of water breathing. So I'll post all that stuff there.
I'll get all this stuff put in the party loot before the next game.
The fire giant, Tartha, wears a necklace of gilded dragon's teeth worth 750 GP. And that's it. No conch.
He was a +1. He was a +1.
Yeah, there were definitely other giants here that obviously had the conches with them. Not all of them were the actual leaders of their. They weren't like, lords. So there's that. And Helen Hyde wears a cloak of white dragon scales worth 2,500 GP that weighs 250 pounds. Someone strong might have to carry that, but there it is. And Braxow, the stone giant, has 1,500 GP gemstones embedded into his flesh.
Yeah.
And they're not diamonds, pearls, or anything that can be used for spell components. A random assortment, though.
Money.
Yeah. Mirren and Nim have fled. When you guys broke through their last line of defense, that storm giant, it did not look like they were planning to stick around. They would rather have the other giants do the fighting for them, and obviously they are expendable because now they're all dead. So you've searched the bodies of the giants. Mirren and Nim seem to have fled. It appears that these corrupt sisters are filling the other giants full of lies. But now that obstacle is out of the way. What do you guys, those whose characters died, if you guys are here, what do you guys want to do? Or do we lose someone?
Roderick is not in.
Right, well, I'll message him and see what he wants to do. Jim, what did you want to do for next session? New character or try to get yourself resurrected?
I prefer not to. I'm not too much interested in rolling another character, so
okay.
I'd rather stay with that if possible.
Yeah. Does anyone have Revivify on their spell list? Or the ability to raise dead?
Sorcerers can raise dead.
Can they?
Can they?
I think. Well, I might be thinking about bards.
Yeah, I'm thinking bard. Alright, well, we can have Lily bring some spell scrolls of raise dead on behalf of the Harpers. And then you can attempt that. Maybe she might need a couple. Might need an extra one because you have to do a ability check to try and cast that. Well, that can be arranged then. And I'll message Roderick. One you could probably get for free, but multiple you'd have to obviously pay for. I'm sure you guys have enough gold, especially after that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys should take a short rest right now as well.
Yeah, maybe.
You can't even stand up until you finish your short rest.
Maybe in the room.
Do we want to do it in the rooms that they know we were in, or do we want to go try to talk to the ice giant or the frost
Hang with
giant?
my people.
Yeah, hang with your people and say, hey,
Yeah.
you were right. You didn't stay. You didn't die. There's some treachery going on in the court.
They need to learn to speak common.
I can speak giant, so I can translate that.
We do have a communication problem with my people.
Alright, well, we'll end it here, and then take the short rest, and then we'll decide where you guys take the short rest and any other conversating that you guys want to do, and think about what your next move will be. I'll also message Thyrax and see if he's going to make a new character or not, and if you need raising dead, then we'll have Lily come with some scrolls for you guys. So
The
Did the hit point API die again?
the griffins.
maybe.
Yeah.
Is it a D10 that they get for their?
Their hit die is D10. They've got 7 D10 plus 3 on their save.
Okay. I guess I need to name my griffin now.
If it survives one battle, it gets a name.
It gets a name, yeah. Especially a battle like that. It got hit by a lot of lightning.
Alright, guys. That was a tough fight. But
Yeah.
you guys still managed to get through it. Hopefully now there won't be anything stopping you from getting to the princess, at least, so she can see your reason, because you have been told that apparently she's the only one that you can trust in this court.
Yeah.
Definitely not those sisters.
I think it's crazy that I think I rolled above a 1 or a 2 on damage rolls like maybe